Let's make it happen.
2, 3. FatEnzo.com. 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 FatEnzo.com.
What's up, everybody? I am live. I'm also high on beef tips. I got a bunch of friends here with me. Lala Beamz, she's a podcaster. I got Tucker with Murder the Media and the Shotcast. And I got PaWL BaZiLe, the fucking genius of censored.tv. He comes up with everything. He's done everything. he created Loomberg, came up with the idea for Milo to not be gay anymore, and also named Gavin McInnes' show. So he's the best person.
Producer for Radio Deadly with Michael Graves every Thursday.
Also as well. That's right. Anyway, so we are gathered here today to discuss. I prepared no notes whatsoever. This is all stream of consciousness. Let's just go off of our gut instinct and beef tips and Bud Light and weed, and we'll discuss the Sarasota Trump rally, among other things, I think. You know what? Let's start it with that. We'll start it with that. And welcome to Bobby Pickles motherfucking podcast, episode 192.
What the fuck?
That's me, baby. What up? Hey, how you guys doing? We're going live. It's we had no plan whatsoever. Just decided to do this randomly just now. Speaking with Tucker, and we're like, hey, let's just jump on the podcast, right? And we assembled all these people in about 10 minutes, and now we're sitting here. This is great.
Don't put it like that. It makes us sound like we have nothing to do.
Oh, one thing I want to discuss is if you take a look at my shirt.
Yeah. Whitman, Deli, and Bible? What does that say? My eyes are fucking horrible, man. Sorry.
It says that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of.
Oh. I thought Whitman, Deli, and Bible, which I would love to make a deli called Whitman's Deli and Bible.
Not even close. Listen, the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of, man. Jesus is black, and we are all scum for being born. Critical race theory is completely correct. And I read a tweet today. Hold on. What was the tweet? It was great. It was so great. Shit. Damn. It said something to the effect of, I wonder if I could find it still on my Twitter. I didn't think to screenshot it. But, becoming conscious as a white person is a little bit like waking up with a bad hangover, covered in blood and surrounded by dead bodies, and slowly realizing that you're holding the murder weapon. Ha ha. Oh my God. So anyway, what do you guys think of that during this white boy summer?
I mean, the thing, dude, is I don't know whether God is black or white. I just know that he's definitely not Japanese. For sure. That would surprise the hell out of everybody. If you died and just met a Japanese god, you'd be like, well, what were you expecting? Like, not this. Even Morgan Freeman would be great. But it's like, I did not expect to see Jackie Chan up here when I died. I don't know, man. The critical race theory thing, is like everything else that Black Lives Matter and Antifa does. It's cult shit. It's a different language that none of us, like real people who put up sheetrock every day, don't use this language. If you go to a normal guy who has a business or something like that, there's no way they would even understand remotely what these academics are talking about, but they teach each other this thing, tweet it out, talk amongst each other this crazy cult talk, and then they act like we're all idiots for not understanding it or not believing them. And I don't know, like I don't think that most people take it very seriously. And maybe they should, because I know that a lot of teachers and academics are definitely all rah-rah and gung-ho about critical race theory. But I don't see it in day-to-day life. It seems to only be the small percentage of like the weird Antifa people. And it's scary for sure that like it's even being suggested that like maybe we should teach this to the kids. But I don't think it'll hold up. It's like every other idealistic trend where it's like, hey, how about we just say white people are the most evil thing in the world and don't judge people by their character whatsoever. Judge them strictly on the color of their skin. So if you're a black serial killer, we say, well, that's okay because it's white people's fault. And if you're a white guy who works at a soup kitchen every week, we go, well, you're still guilty no matter how much you try and make up for it. It's like, I don't know. I don't feel like it passes the mainstream smell test in the same way that, like, let's say gay marriage or something did, where most people I knew were just sort of like, whatever, I just don't care about gay people. And that's how the slippery slope got rolling. Like, people just went, just give them whatever they want. Just, you want to get married, great. You want to adopt kids, whatever, who cares? I don't care about gays and what you do behind closed doors. But the problem is now we all sort of woke up and looked around and went, wait, why are we showing kids somebody's dick in a mall? Like, there's always these stories that pop up. And I don't think most people are like, I'm for it. I think it's really the stupid Antifa cult thing that I don't think a lot of people take seriously, which is why they've flown sort of under the radar, in a weird way. You know if that makes any sense? Like they've flown under the radar to the point where people don't go, we should get them and take them apart and destroy them in the same way they do with, say, Proud Boys, because Proud Boys actually say things that most people agree with. And that's a threat to establishment type people, because we could actually get guys who pick up your trash to get on board with things like, I don't know, what's so wrong with starting a business? What's so wrong with, traditional values and going to church? And if you want community so bad, what about like a church community or something that's actually good for your neighborhood rather than like some weird communist community? I don't, whatever. Yeah.
Thoughts on that, anybody? If not, I got something.
I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, no, like I get super frustrated, when I hear about this stuff. I have a 2-year-old and she's not in school yet, but I imagine her being in school, and I'm honestly, where would she fall? Because I'm brown, so it's like, where would she fall? Would she be in the she's racist category, or would she be in the she is oppressed category? And both are fucked up. Like, no matter which way you look at it, as a parent, you don't want either of those things being taught to your children. And it's just bizarre that we are living in a society where we even have to state that as anything more than common fucking sense.
Mm-hmm. I saw a tweet with a guy who was at one of these, school board meetings, and he was talking about the fact that the CRT was actually a theory that is being taught. It was created to be taught in collegiate circles, so college settings. It was not meant for grammar school. It was not meant for high school, and the educators don't even properly know how to educate the children about it. And basically, he said, his wife was white, he was black, and one of the teachers took his daughter to the side and was telling her how she's a minority and basically why she should hate her mom. And he's like, listen, keep the life lessons to us. You guys stick with the math and science. So,
well, the weird thing about academics and shit, I think that it's way more along the lines of no one has grown a dick to actually fight back. Like it's crazy because you have a 2-year-old. My niece is about to turn 2, and it's something that I keep bringing up with my brother and my sister-in-law, where I'm like, man, homeschooling should be something that's on the table, because they throw things out there. Like in the neighborhood they're in, a recommendation recently has been made that they should start teaching about anal sex and masturbation in kindergarten. And I mean, do you remember what it was like to be like 5 or 6 years old? You didn't like anything. You weren't sexual. There was no sexuality to you. I didn't look at the girls and like go, I want to fuck them. Like there was nothing. I didn't know what fucking was. And the thought of like, you should get naked in front of the girls petrified me when I was like 5 or 6 years old. And it's weird because it sounds more like some woke asshole makes a suggestion like we should teach 5-year-olds about how to play with themselves. And everyone just feels weird about like, oh, if I say that's absurd and we shouldn't do that, are we the bad guys who aren't woke? And I think that most people, if you press their feet to the fire, will actually be like, yeah, okay, that's fucking absurd. We're not doing that. But I just think that so many people are gutless and want to like appear woke. In the same way Ellen wants to appear like she likes dancing. They want everyone to think that they're so like open-minded to everything. And they're like, yeah, we should teach a 6-year-old about anal sex. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? Or we should teach them, oh, your gender is whatever you pick. It's like, and what you said about like teaching the like a girl who's, half brown, half white, whatever, about you're a victim. I live in the hood, man, and the worst thing I could think of, the thing that fucks with the people that I talk to on a daily basis more than anything, is it's almost abusive to teach a little kid that you're a victim, and to teach a little kid like, no, every shortcoming you have is because everyone else has put upon you. And it doesn't teach them about failing and learning from their experience. And if you reach, for your goals, you could achieve them eventually. Or it doesn't teach that lesson, because it basically teaches, hey, why bother? The white man already rigged the game, and you should really resent them, and maybe you should become a protester and a fucking communist and everything like that, because that's the only thing that could possibly save you. It's a scary thought. Have you thought about like homeschooling your daughter?
Absolutely. I actually have been thinking further into that, of trying to create something that a lot of people, not necessarily in Florida, but in other states that have been locked down a lot more than us, but like still have to work, like creating some type of community of where someone who is able to homeschool can also homeschool, like say a small group of like 10 kids.
That's socialism. No.
No. You would pay.
It's not. Paul, do you tell your niece that she is a little wop scum? And do you prepare her for life by letting her know that?
She barely looks Italian. It's kind of frustrating. She looks a lot more like Frankenberry. She just has a big square head, and like she doesn't even have like the jet black hair, and it's weird because her mom has like, dark hair and dark features, but she has like light hair. And I was like, I don't know where the fuck this kid came from. Because she's just a little white girl now.
Enrique Terrio just had a white child. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that.
With a woman?
Oh wait, no, I'm just kidding. Oh shit,
okay.
That's not like well known. God, it's all out there, man. If you've been following Milo, he's been terrorizing Enrique.
Yeah, he likes doing that.
But I don't want to talk about it too much, because I am genuine friends with Enrique, so I don't want to talk about it. I was just passing a little joke.
Milo's relationship with Enrique is really weird. He used to, when Enrique would call me, he used to make me hang up on him after he would be like, say this. And I would like go, and he's like, say, why do you like that fat girl at the fucking bar last week? And I'd be like, hey, how about that fat girl at the bar? He goes, now hang up. And we just like hang up on him and fuck with Enrique all the time. And I think at some point Enrique was like, I think Milo's being real about this. And you have to know Milo to get it, but it's literally usually a one-person joke with Milo that keeps going and going and going to the point where you're convinced that Milo might actually like show up at your house with a hammer and try and attack your family.
So wait, you have not been following this with Milo then? You're so close to him. You're friends with him, right?
Yeah, I just don't go on Telegram. I just don't like it. like I tried to get into it, and I feel like I'm just reading 10,000 pages of ramble every day of mostly people I don't know, so I don't know what's important, and I'm just sort of like, all right, I give up on Telegram. I have one, but I barely go on it. But yeah, I'm buds with Milo. Like I said, I know Milo well enough, and he's done enough shit to me, including putting my phone number on Grindr because he thought it was hilarious. And then all of a sudden I'm getting all these texts and fucking calls from weird numbers. And they're like, hey, baby, why don't you come over tonight? And, we'll suck each other's dicks. I'm like, who the fuck? And at one point I had to like stop, call Milo and be like, Milo, did you put my number on Grindr or should I call the police? And he was like, don't call the police. I did it. And I'm like, thank you. Okay.
Okay. I love you, Paul. You talk, you talk so much, and it's so interesting. But you can definitely
other people talk.
You can definitely power the conversation. We have 4 people.
That doesn't sound like me. Let's go ahead.
Let's let Tucker in because Tucker's being a good boy, being all quiet over there, drinking and shit. What up?
I had a daydream once that I interviewed Milo. It was like a between two ferns kind of thing. I'm often, I don't even know what I think I was brushing my teeth, and then I choked on my own spit because I was laughing so hard. But I'm sitting there and I'm interviewing him, and I'm asking him about gay, and so I go, "Hi, gay. I have some questions. Do you, so I understand that you have your bears and your twinks and your otters and all of that." But what, and they each have something for, another type for each one of them. What do ugly or fat gays get? And he goes, well, celibacy. And that was it. That was the whole interview.
That was your fake Milo in a dream who did that hilarious joke?
Yeah. Yes.
A daydream.
That's really funny.
Tucker likes coming up with skits and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want to start a skit show, he's the guy to do it with.
Nice.
Same. I want to do kind of like that. Let me in. Kind of almost Dave Chappelle, or what's that guy with the really crazy hair?
Peel.
Yeah. No.
Carrot Top.
Yeah. Sure. Any of those.
Dick Gregory.
Dick Gregory. So Tucker, do you ever go do any stand up or anything like that? Do you ever do any open mic nights or anything like that? Because I think you really should. You probably this is not, of course, a good example of that. Paul's doing most of the talking, but that was a great joke.
5 fucking minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I find it entertaining. Paul, we talk on the phone sometimes and we go for hours, right? Just bullshitting about all kinds of crap.
Bro, that's the thing. Is that's why when you call me within 10 minutes of doing something, I go, yeah, all right, fuck it. Because it's not like we're going to run out of shit to talk about. Like, we could literally just be like, what's your favorite animal? And that'll lead into a 4-hour conversation somehow.
I know. Lala Beamz, what kind of brown are you? You said you're brown?
Panamanian.
What?
Panamanian and Venezuelan.
Whoa, okay, nice. Why aren't you living down in my neck of the woods? Or why are you up in Tampa? Isn't this the area with all the Latins? You guys got Latins up there?
Where are you?
We're in, I'm in Miami. This is South Florida,
What's your exact address?
I don't even speak Spanish. I'm an American. I was first generation American, and my mom was trying to learn English when she moved here, and she didn't teach me Spanish and somehow blames me for that. But no, I live in St. Pete, not Tampa, though.
I always say Tampa. I just say Tampa Bay. Tampa.
I know, but it's so different. We actually met, Bobby and I.
Tell the story.
Before.
I was trying to find the video of you singing, and I wanted to horribly embarrass you. Actually.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it. I'm trying to find it. Oh my God, where is that? God.
Okay, well, I don't really get embarrassed easily, and I sing that all the time. I'll sing it for you right now if you want. But
okay.
We met at Trumparilla, which was every year Tampa holds Gasparilla, which is like a pirate boat parade, And I literally never go because it basically is just a shit ton of like barely legal girls puking like on the streets and shit like that. And just like as a past bartender, I try to avoid things like that, like the plague. But when they replaced it with Trumparilla, which was a Trump boat parade, my friend just so happened to be coming in town that same exact day. So we went and Bobby and I met randomly. And I guess I sang God Bless the USA at 2 a.m. with no music playing.
You did. Actually, I found it. So just hold on and I'll get it.
Oh, good.
But
good.
Yeah, that was very fun. I love Gasparilla. Gasparilla is fucking fun as fuck. Tucker, you went to Gasparilla?
Yeah, it was weird because I saw a bunch of old people smoking pot. No young people. It was they were the ones that were up against chain link fences making out. And it was just odd. The dynamic was definitely different. There was a shift going on, but hey, they were getting lit and they were having a good time. It's like a Mardi Gras, but only like one day instead of a month.
Yeah, I'm trying to download that and airdrop it to myself, but I don't think I can do it while we're streaming. But if you want to sing it, you can. That is too bad.
Parties like a Republican, I'll tell you that much.
That's right. Well, nowadays it is totally different. I was actually just reading a Roger Stone article that he just published. It's pretty good. And he was talking about this too. Hold on one second. Let me find it really fast. It is pretty damn good. He is talking about in this article, about how look at this, by the way, this picture, I printed that shirt. Isn't that great?
Good for you.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome, man.
You printed this shirt too. The one I'm wearing.
That's right. Capital Raiders.
I love it. It's my
I got this one on the internet.
I got a lot of compliments on the Joe Biden, the Trader Joe's shirt. Everybody loved it.
Yeah, that's right. Hostile takeover by the Republican Party by Donald Trump, who has rightfully remade it as the party of working people, tax reduction, job growth, energy independence. Jesus, stop texting me. Criminal justice reform, fair trade deals, peace in the Middle East, a hard line on Islamic terrorists, and muscular national defense. It will never go back to being the country club Republican Party of the Bushes, and despite the future of Donald J. Trump himself, the American First segment of the Republican Party will remain dominant. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, that really does say what we were just talking about. The Republican Party has become something different. And we both saw that at this weekend's Sarasota rally, right, Lala? Hello?
Yeah, I actually have one of those shirts too, by the way. I didn't know you printed them.
You bought those?
Yeah.
Where'd you buy it? You bought it on the website?
No, that weekend when we met. I didn't realize that you printed them though.
Oh, okay. But did you hear what I said about the Roger Stone article? You guys heard that about how everything changed, or what?
Well, yeah, I agree with him to a point.
You know, we're Republicans. You stole that idea and started a show immediately as soon as we had that conversation. Paul?
Of course. No, I agree with him to a point. But the thing is this, like, it's more about perception than anything. Like, there are plenty of, look at Amazon, look at everyone in Hollywood. Forever, they've been the most leftist, liberal, whatever, and they're rich and country club as they fucking come. But the perception was, nah, the working class are all the liberals and the people and blah, blah, blah. Because they are great at marketing shit. We suck at it, which is why it's like, everyone looked at it like the Bushes and the country club Republicans were the only ones there. I'm not saying they're not there. They definitely are, and they should be. But the fact is, today, if I had a party, or if there's two parties happening, one is all liberals, one is all Republicans. I've been to plenty of conservative parties, and it's a bunch of people getting fucking wasted, having a great time, getting laid. And these are all the like myths of like, no, Republicans just sit around with the Bible, staring at each other all fucking day. I'm pretty sure if you go to like a left-wing party, it's like that last scene in Reservoir Dogs where everyone's just aiming guns at each other, waiting to see like who says something unwoke so they could fucking open fire. Like I would be.
That's great.
But that's the thing. It's like, were they ever like the awesome people, like the people who are really left wing? I'm not talking about sort of left wing. I'm talking about like Antifa people, the people who do the jazz hands instead of clapping, motherfuckers. Like, are they any fun at all? Do they ever laugh? Do they ever tell an off-color joke? Do they ever do it? It's like, it's not fun because you really can't be yourself. You're too concerned and preoccupied with what does everyone think of me? What does everyone think I'm cool? Does everyone think I'm woke? Everyone knows I'm tolerant, right? Who fucking cares? At a conservative thing, at any Proud Boy meetup I've ever been to, it's a bunch of guys talking shit and having a good time, and then we all go home. Like, which is great, but the perception was always like Republicans can't get laid. Well, since fucking when? Military guys don't get laid? Really? Cops, firefighters don't get laid. Working class guys who own a construction company can't get a girl, don't have wives and kids. Like, yeah, of course we want wives and kids, but the perception has, which was all left-wing propaganda, was always, oh, they're these little like Mormon virgin guys who just read the Bible and like are so uptight and have a thumb up their ass. And it's like, no, actually, that's not the way it is. And that's the reality of the situation. And the other side is actually more uptight than you could ever fucking imagine. And I knew this, and Bobby knew this too, from punk rock. Because punk rock is the most selfish scene that you could ever think of, where the second you're like, I think I'm a punk rocker, I'm into punk rock, you get all the guys who tell you you're not punk enough and why you're not punk enough and you don't listen to the right shit and you weren't there and this year and blah, blah, blah. And that's what everything has become now. It's all this weird punk rock scenester bullshit,
It's true.
What if there was a gays that did that to each other? You're not gay enough.
That's happening.
They do that, don't they?
Yeah.
I bet you they do. They actually do that. I know for a fact, actually, because I did a podcast with a trans man. Or no, well, he's a woman now, but he got the dick cut off, but he's actually a staunch Republican, and he hangs out at the Roosters, the gay bar over here in West Palm, and he was telling me that there is a hierarchy, and he tells them, you guys need to stop bitching and complaining and pull your bootstraps up and do something with your life. And it's hilarious. Anyway,
we already know that Joe Biden doesn't mind calling people not black enough, so.
Well,
I mean, I just figured the gays would be the same.
And the funny thing is, I remember when conservatives said that Obama wasn't black enough. And liberals also said we're like, well, he's not really black. He's like a white black guy, and he's half
to make
black.
a highlight reel of him playing basketball because he sucked so bad at the beginning of his presidency.
With his awful mom jeans. He's fucking terrible. But that was the thing. It was, you're being racist by saying, like, his family wasn't
the same
black
thing.
enough.
Drake had to make a highlight reel of his basketball, too.
Oh, no. Oh,
weren't they saying, like, Kamala was whatever, black, Asian, and then she was trying to like also claim Latinx or whatever.
Yeah, she's fucking everything. Great. Well, like,
she is
whatever. You're an asshole.
Well, did y'all see the
Mario of the left? She changes her race based on because Enrique's like, I'm Cuban and I'm black.
It's like Ryan Katsu Rivera, actually. Ryan Katsu Rivera is Japanese and he's Japanese and what else? Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
And I told him he's basically Filipino. So
yeah,
basically, and he's a lot more Puerto Rican than Japanese because he was raised with all Puerto Ricans around him in a Puerto Rican family, and his dad like moved to California, so he doesn't really have a Japanese brain.
To move to the Philippines, and that's it. That's where he'll stay.
Well, that's. That's
Isn't that funny?
I've been telling him.
Can we come up with two ethnicities that blended together would make another ethnicity? Is that like a game that I just created? No.
Yeah. Let's do it. That could be a lot of fun.
Well, there's like Blasian already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really a thing, but they're trying to make it a thing. Just like how they're trying to make Latinx a thing. But I don't-
Latinx. No Latin.
Do you
person,
remember-
No
Well,
Latino
black and
claims that.
Asian is Dominican, right?
No. Hey, listen. What Lala says is
Black
right.
and Spanish is Dominican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Black-
Black and Spanish. Yeah, no, this could be a
that is
game. I
Dominican.
feel like this.
Do you guys remember the Batwoman show with Ruby Rose?
No.
No, I'm not.
Okay, it was terrible. So God bless you if you didn't see it.
Is it old?
It's like 2 years old, maybe. But Ruby Rose, and if you know her, she is the biggest lesbian who's ever lesbian. And it was basically just a big woke show to showcase, like, and this is how a woman does it. And I'm even better than Batman. And by the way, my character's gay. Like, that's the whole concept of the show. There were articles written that said Ruby Rose wasn't gay enough to play Batwoman by gay people. Like, and by the way, I'd also like to mention, this is neither here nor there, but a while ago, I dated like a honest to God lesbian. And she hadn't been with a guy since she was like 14.
I've done that before.
Yeah, that
lesbians
happens
aren't
from
real.
time to time. And the weird thing was, there was such like an uptightness with her because her big thing was, we can't let my friends know that we're dating. We can't do. I'm like, why? And she's like, because all my friends are in like the lesbian community and they'll get really mad at me if they find out I'm with a guy. And I'm like, well, so what? Isn't the whole point of the gay movement we were sold on? It's about love whoever you're with. Love is love. If you're attracted to him, so what? And she just kind of looked at me and went, no, it's not about that. It's about, you got to be a fucking lesbian. And I was like, yeah, I figured as much. I'm just saying, like, throw it in their face. Be like, isn't the whole point I could do whatever I want? And to me, that's how my whole life is do whatever you want. And when it comes to, like, trans people or whatever, it's just like how I told Theron Meyer when I interviewed Theron. I was like, Theron, you're weird. So what? You're a guy who dresses like a girl and has a dick, but you like to be called a girl, and that's okay. And you're polite and you're a nice person, and that's good. But you're weird. Just be weird. Just be like, I'm a weirdo. You don't have to force all. And Theron, to her credit, fucking was like, yeah, no, I agree. Because I said, like, the trans people who were like, I want you all to always see me as a woman constantly. It's like, so the whole world has to change their mind, and no one's allowed to make observations about you. Otherwise, they're evil and a phobe and a racist and afraid. And it's like, how about you just a weirdo? Like, and I understand that from hanging around punks and goth kids my whole life. Like,
Paul,
you're a dude who wears eyeliner. You're
Paul,
weird.
you are an interesting bird, my friend, and I understand fully why Gavin, Milo, Michael
Gravesy.
Graves, me, keep you around. You're a very interesting person. Anyway.
Thank you, sir.
Tucker, man, I want to hear some more of you, man. You're a funny bastard. And listen, we were up at PCB. We were up at on the Panhandle a couple weeks back, and we had a big Proud Boy meet up there. It was great. Tucker was there. I haven't seen him in a long time. He actually got over something. He could talk about that if he wants to. And then he joined me on a podcast with the infamous Enrique Tarrio about like a week ago or so, whatever. And that was great. We were talking shit to a liberal idiot in Boston. God, I hate that guy. Anyway.
Thank God he won't have kids. By his own doing. You know, I know a Proud Boy who's actually not he's not pro-life because he says eventually the problem will solve itself. And I was like, that's a real bummer. I wish you wouldn't have said that, but
I just heard that statistic. It was liberals have 1.7 kids on average, and conservatives are 2. Whatever it is, 7 or whatever. But the problem is
Muslims have like 12.
Yeah, but the problem is though, just because you're the child of a conservative in a conservative family, it doesn't mean that you're going to be conservative. We got critical race theory being taught in the schools and the internet and shit like that. So they might become liberal. I think that liberalism a lot of times is just like a thing that happens on your evolutionary path. You're kind of like that when you're a kid, and then you realize you're an idiot at some point when life really kicks you in the balls, and then you go, oh fuck, I'm a conservative actually. And that's what happened to me.
I'm not convinced. If you want to send your kids to public school, yeah, you're running that risk. But are you familiar with what a cob house is?
What?
It is a mud hut. It's a mud hut that you can build anywhere, and it's off the grid kind of stuff. It costs like $5 a square foot to build. It's insane, and they always end up looking like a fairy house, kind of like you're living in a giant mushroom or like a hobbit hole. Okay. That's my plan. I'm gonna raise kids off in the woods somewhere in a cob house. My wife will be grass fed because I don't want any of that soy making my kids weird. So that's the plan: is live off in the woods and live off of the land, and not let them ever be exposed to any of that bullshit.
The older I get, the more I agree with you. That's my fantasy.
They're not even going to learn how to read. They're not even going to learn how to read.
I just have like a ranch somewhere. Raise illiterate kids who just know how to fix an engine, and that's it.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to say, like, I'm going to go off that a little bit because I often sometimes wonder you guys don't know me, but if you did ever listen to my podcast, I do talk about like kind of offlandish shit all the time, like more philosophical stuff. I'm more apolitical than anything, but the whole idea of being able to read and write kind of takes away from like your natural abilities, because like if we never learned how to do that, maybe we would actually speak telepathically like dolphins do or whales do and stuff like that. Because this is all within our power that they steal from us. Just say.
I knew we were freestyling it today. I had no idea this conversation would go into telepathic.
I thought dolphins actually do have a language, though.
It's telepathy, and
I thought it was
speak sonar.
They rape people and each other. It's terrifying. I'm never going in the ocean again.
It's like
they do rape. Yeah, they rape.
I'm too cute. I won't do well in prison. I mean, the ocean.
Everybody talks about dolphin rape. That's low-hanging fruit.
Well, we talked about dolphins. You can't really talk about it without bringing it up.
What else do they do that's sinister? They get fucking murdered so easily by the Japanese for their fin soup. You ever see that documentary?
I bet it's delicious because they just won't stop doing it.
No, it's dolphins. I thought it's sharks. I thought it was dolphins.
Sharks are fin soup.
They do sharks as well.
No. There's an entire documentary all about this.
They kill everything.
No, they definitely kill. They kill dolphins and whales, and they kill sharks with absolutely no regard. Just cut their fin off and then put them back into the ocean.
The Japanese, as you know, even they're not Jesus, and they have very interesting diets. That's all I got to say. Anyway,
well, I'll tell you this: like,
hot take, the Japanese aren't Jesus.
No Asians are Jesus. Dude, that's fucking hilarious.
Like you said, we're going to get to heaven and God is going to be... I'm not going to do it.
Chinky-eyed. Do it. Do it now.
Do it. All our careers are over anyway.
Oh, gosh, you guys are
and then do it.
Crazy. I can't. Y'all are too much.
Hey, their lives matter. So
I think living off in the woods is probably a really great option. If I could,
illiterate kids who can only
look, and it's not okay. Illiterate kids is the dream. Obviously, they're still going to try to learn how to read. They're gonna that's their. That's them acting out. They learn to read. I'm like,
they're gonna find scraps of paper around the yard, and you just have to chase them with a stick. Be like, hey, put that down. Stop trying to teach yourself how to read.
Hey, why did they?
Stop sounding things out.
What was the main reason why all the slave masters would get in trouble? For teaching the slaves how to read. That was the main thing that you would get in trouble for if you back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't want to compare my kids to slaves. Being slaves, because that's, you're
going to have slaves.
You're creating capitalist slaves. Sorry.
Yes,
sorry for talking over you.
But they, I just kind of want feral children. I want them running around on all fours in the woods, and then they'll just like stop and go, like just look in the direction of a predator because they just got that instinct that they know something's watching them, and they're like. And then they scurry away. Really
so they're going to be basically like Lala, like Lala. They're going to be like Native Americans.
Yes,
Right?
yes, that's exactly
I
what
want
I want.
my
I want them to
kids-
put their ears.
I was gonna say that's beautiful in a way.
I
listen
want to
totally get
raise
the
a
appeal of that.
Ugandan tribe.
I want them.
I want a
to
Ugandan
listen to
tribe
the
who, if they
beat.
ever even see an aircraft, they worship it. I want
yeah.
them to not know what the internet is. Be like, what? What do you mean? There's invisible pictures in the air that we could grab with these
I
machines?
want white people wanting culture to try to find my kids off in the woods, and then my kids shoot them with arrows and bury them.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, kind of like that kid in 2019, 2018. Yeah, I want that. I want them to be just unpredictable.
You know, like living off the grid still doesn't necessarily make you like that almost makes you more of like a target. Like look at the Branch Davidians and what happened to them.
I don't know. I just watched the original Red Dawn recently, and I'm like, that's the dream.
Great
That's
movie.
the dream. Great dream.
You know,
and then I also watched Road Warrior. Is it Road Warrior? Or is it Beyond? It's Beyond Thunderdome.
Beyond
The
Thunderdome.
original.
Mhm.
The kids living in the crashed airplane, and I'm like, gosh, one day.
By the way-
except it'll be a school bus. It'll be a school bus parked off in the woods.
this movie doesn't get enough attention, but I rewatched it recently and I knew what it was about. I've seen it before, and I was like screaming the word yes at my TV. Demolition Man. Have you seen Demolition Man?
Yeah, let's wipe her ass with seashells. Whatever the fuck that is.
No, right. But the whole idea of like this dystopian liberal future, it's the most red pill movie you'll ever watch. It's about basically what would happen if the nice liberals took over everything and how corrupt they'd fucking be, and how you kind of need Sylvester Stallone, just some fucking asshole who's gonna curse and who's gonna fucking fight you and everything like that, to come back to deal with the problems. And there's so many things in the movie that are like prophetic, but it's supposed to be like this weird action movie with Wesley Snipes. So but if you've never seen Demolition Man, you want to watch a good red pill movie to be like, this is life now. And by the way, it's set in the future, and their future is like 2015 or something. And they have like flying cars and fucking lasers.
First of all, the Hollywood writers who came up with their like timelines and shit like that back in the 80s, those people should be shot. Second of all, what do you really, don't you think that evolutionarily we will eventually get to that point where the only thing to do is be a socialist? You know, I believe, and I've said this many times, I'm sorry to say it again, but somebody told me this and it makes perfect sense. I was talking about like the human animal, if we're animals or not. And he goes, we're creatures. And I was like, that makes perfect sense. We are creatures. We're creatures on this earth, man. We are. And, you know, I look at like an ant hive. Look at how all they work in unison and shit like that. Don't you think that eventually we will get to a point where it will be like Demolition Man and shit? It will be like a collective like that, or what?
So I've never seen Demolition Man, so I don't really know like that aspect of it. But what you're talking about as far as like the ant hives and how we're working together, and you can use like birds, if you watch birds fly together in unison in the sky, or a school of fish. This is part of the collective consciousness that we
dolphins
are all a part of. Yeah. And so like this idea of like what you said, I always talk about that, is like that we are somehow above animals, like the animal kingdom. No, we are a part of the animal kingdom, and we are a part of each other, like humanity and the collective consciousness. We're not absent of that in the same way. I mean, you think of your like consciousness or your evolution in comparison to a bird or a fish. Would you say that you are more evolved? So then don't you think that we are also all connected through some type of collective already? And I think that that's why they're purposely trying to attack us in the way of like the information warfare that we experience every single day, the psychological warfare, and even like the things of, you know, that they're trying to talk everyone into injecting into themselves.
So do you think
Maxine Waters, do not mention Maxine Waters. I already got a strike, and I can't get another one for like 70 days or some shit like that.
I thought I said it pretty good.
You did.
Okay.
I'm just saying that to warn everybody else.
I didn't hear her say Maxine Waters at all. Did you say Maxine Waters?
No. You know what I'm talking about, Paul.
I thought you just blurted Maxine Waters out.
Paul, you're a Guinean. You understand certain things on the black market.
Yeah.
So just Just shut the fuck up and go right along with the story, brother.
My entire life fell off a truck. The thing is this, and it's funny you bring it up and you put it that way. I think it's really interesting because I noticed with like left-wing environmentalists, the way that they picture their ideal Earth is an Earth without people. Because they don't really, despite how like, oh, natural, everything needs to be natural, they don't see humans as part of that nature. So like if you hit a deer in the road, they're like, well, that was the deer's road before you put the road there. And all I always think is, do we get a road too? Do we have an environment that we're allowed to live in too? Because yeah, we build a road in the same way a bee will build a beehive, only bees are dumb as fuck. So we come up with more complicated things than a bee. And that is why it's like, well, we live in a house in the same way an ant lives in an anthill. But the way like left-wing environmentalists look at life is like, wouldn't it be great if this place was just overgrown with trees? And I always think to myself, we have trees. You could go live in the fucking woods. Like no one's stopping you from like packing a bag.
But they live in the
woods
city.
And not coming out.
Always.
What?
But they live in the city. Like they're the ones who choose to live in the city. You know, we're the uncultured swine that live in anywhere near the woods.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They're the people furthest away from nature. And if you've ever been to like, Louisiana, if you go to like Opelousas, Louisiana, you'll see
love
some
Louisiana.
I love it. You'll see some Cajun old guy who could name every plant in the swamp
Tucker.
and name every bug. And it's like, but you're telling me he's not in touch with nature, but you are because you sit in a New York City apartment and you just kind of preach, the earth is getting warmer. And it's like,
raise awareness.
We're raising awareness. You should never hunt for any reason. And it's like, well, do other animals get to hunt? Do they have rules like this?
I heard
because we're creatures.
I heard somebody once get upset. I used to work at PetSmart. I got to work there for 2 weeks before I got fired for a joke.
Yeah.
While I was working there, somebody yelled at another employee because he called the goldfish feeder fish. And that because that's what they are. You buy them and then you feed them to your turtles. And she's like, turtles shouldn't be eating that. They should eat what they eat in the wild. And he goes, ma'am, what do you think that they eat in the wild? She said, pellets.
Oh my God.
Goldfish eat pellets. You see, I worked at a strip club, and I thought I was going to get fired for looking at one of the girls and saying, hey, cunt, you're an hour late. But it turns out that's just how we say it. It was like a PetSmart, but better.
It's funny.
And we also feed the strippers pellets, by the way.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
You didn't, it is really, they love to claim that they have the moral superiority whenever it comes to nature, but actually hunters and people who like being outdoors and doing stuff like hunting and fishing, they do more for preservation than anything because they want to keep enjoying it. Now, if you were to talk to any liberal about big game hunting, which I don't really care either way, but the people who are keeping those big game like elephants and all that other shit that they want to shoot alive are because they're farming them to keep them alive for people to pay thousands of dollars to shoot. So if it was just left to nothing, like to their natural devices, people would just poach them and then that'd be it. So we actually have we have a pretty steady supply because people are farming them. Now, what's interesting also is you were talking about the deer in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
We have more deer now than we did before the Great Depression because we have more edges. Now, what I mean by edges is we have more like tree lines. They live on tree lines. That's because that's where they can hide, and then open areas of grass is where they feed. So we have more of those because we have more roads and towns and houses and neighborhoods that there's more places for them to live. Now, we did knock down a lot of their population during the Great Depression, but that's because nobody had anything to fucking eat. So they just go out and shoot a deer. But we actually have more of them than before because we have made this a place to live for us, and it improved their environment too. So,
Well, but
Yeah.
the point is
Fucking
how
deer.
awesome we
Hit it.
are. How
Speed up.
awesome we
hit
are.
the fucking
as
deer.
speed up, put a brush guard on your truck,
As something.
and mince your meat before it's already hamburger. By the time if you hit it doing 60, you don't even have you don't even have to process it.
Well, the typical leftist has this weird point of view of their ideal world, it seems, when you get to the nitty gritty of what they think, if you sit and actually talk to them for like a half hour, is basically we should all just be naked in the woods covered in mud, and that's what natural is. And my whole thing is, well, no, we're smarter. And they're like, well, you shouldn't hunt because it's not fair that you have a rifle with a scope and a gun. And it's like, well, what should you do to get food?
about
And they're
bow
like,
hunters?
well, you should have to fight a fucking deer naked or something. And it's like, well, no, what do you think? A deer or a wolf or a bear doesn't use a gun because they have like a moral objection to it? Like they're just too fucking
They don't
dumb
have
to
the
figure out
technology.
gunpowder.
Yeah,
That's part of nature is technology. When I see concrete, that's also part of nature because we made it and we're part of nature.
It's
And
like George
don't
Carlin
we
said.
make that?
George Carlin said we're a virus on this earth who just existed to create plastic.
Maybe. May
Why
fucking be.
don't we make that a game show where we force them to go off and live? Like you kidnap them in the middle of the night, and then you send them out into the woods to live that way, and then we watch them die on camera. That would be pretty cool. Like, come on, it's like making an Afraid XL.
It's like-
Okay, listen, guys. I'm gonna reel this in. I love y'all,
Oh.
but we needed to. Whoa, who else is jumping on here?
Sorry.
Oh, Lala Beamz. What happened? Did you jump? Did you fall off?
Hello.
Oh shit! There's two of you now.
Hey,
Wow. One,
Oh man!
your twin sisters here.
Wow.
There we go.
What happened?
Can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Bummer City.
Come on, talk louder. We can't hear you.
I think you got to go out and come back in again and make sure that you select all the stuff. But I'm actually gonna start playing some Trump video stuff that I got from the Sarasota rally. I just wanted to get your opinions on it, but I wanted to wait for her to jump on. Maybe I'll jump off and I'll do the beef tips again. I was thinking about doing that, but we'll see. I definitely need to get another beer. All right, hold on. Here she's joining again. You guys are both scum, by the way.
Thank you.
What are you
Can
going
you
to do?
hear me?
Yes.
It's an honor to
Okay.
be called scum
All right.
by Bobby Pickles.
It is. It is. Thank you, Tucker. Explain why. Explain why that is a good thing, please.
Because you are the scummiest of all scum. You
Yes,
are
you
human
know.
garbage.
You know.
So it's
No, it's not true. I'll do a really fast Google search. We are all scum meme.
I'm
Yeah.
here on SPLC.com. It definitely says we're all scum.
It does.
It was
No.
obviously written by
That's a
liberal
rough
who
one.
thinks we should live in the woods.
Oh, they're all my
What,
quotes.
you guys never saw this before?
No, that's awesome.
No.
Dude, we are all scum. I told you we're creatures on this earth. We're all retarded scum. Anyway, look at all right, so
Well-
me. Oh, what, Lala?
Oh, the only thing I was just going to say, just because we were just talking about like the left and their points of view on the world, which is so fucking stupid most of the time, but they also like cannot meme, which I just think is like such a telling phenomena because they are not able to make fun of anyone, let alone themselves. So like if you find a leftist meme account, it's just like so sad and pathetic and like cringe because they just can't, like they have literally nothing to make fun of. Like we all make fun of ourselves. I mean, even that meme that you just showed, like
Right.
we all bleed the same color. No one really cares about the color of your skin. Like, I mean, of course there's racist people and that's never going to change no matter how much you shove it down somebody's throat, to be quite honest. So
So
That's
what's
really
the,
it.
you know what's ironic
the
that I'm it's ironic that I'm thinking about? I think because they're the ones that always watch the Hollywood stuff and, all those creative people who, do stuff,
Yeah.
And they're almost like the people that never do anything. I don't know.
Right.
And it's
but
what?
But it's you make a good point when you say it's like there's always going to be racist people. I remember I was dating a black chick for a while and she wasn't political at all. And
you're not racist because you date a black person?
Yeah,
exactly. Well, it's a really good argument for why I'm not racist. Actually, it's like I don't know. I seem to be paying for a lot of her fucking meals for a racist, but it's like. She was telling me about one time she got called the N-word, and she goes, "Oh, some white guy just literally came up to me and my friend in the street and was calling us the N-word and blah, 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 and saying, why don't you get out of here?" And I went, right, asshole. He's an asshole. Like, have you ever heard of an asshole before? Does it really bother you that there's 12 guys in Iowa who are like, and we're going to make the white man rise again? Those 12 guys are always going to be there and they affect literally nothing. They're like, no matter how much school you give everybody and say, this is an awful taboo, most of the country agrees with that already. Most of the country doesn't have this like weird white people are better thing, which is why conservative memes are better because it reduces things to a photo and a little quote that we can all relate with, whereas leftists can relate with no normal people. So that's why if you notice, all their memes are way too long. Like they always have 3 paragraphs of shit that don't make any sense. And it's not relatable except to their leftist friends who do the fake liberal laugh where they go, yeah. And it's just like, but it's like none of you people have ever made anyone like genuinely belly laugh at anything.
My point though. That's my point though, that they're not creative and shit. However, they're always watching the creative people. You know what I'm saying? They're always watching the creative people. They're not doing. They're the ones sitting around talking shit, armchair quarterbacking, getting you canceled on social media, living in their mommy's basement. Things like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even when it comes to like actors, like the high level liberals, the George Clooney's, have you ever met an actor? They're dumber than shit. They're like a blank slate.
I need to get another beer. I'll be right back.
Sure, I'll take over the show. They don't really have a personality, which is why they're an actor, because they like reading about these interesting people and pretending to be these interesting people.
They don't have a personality because they are installed with personalities. They are not allowed to have their own thoughts. They are propaganda tools. And even things like, I think that like, information warfare is one of like the most important topics because so many people are completely unaware of it. I mean, even like bots and things like that. Like how much money do you think that they spend on bots to just comment on conservative or any other accounts? Like 20 posts, 80 followers, same copy and paste a million times, like there's just, it's just, you have to be aware of these things because you can't like really get worked up trying to like argue. Like I literally made my Lala Beamz page specifically so I could go and like argue with liberals. And it was just so unsatisfying at the end of the day.
And I think you should try to change people's minds, but you never do.
Right.
I've got a controversial thought, an idea that I came up with just now. Because of y'all,
the Holocaust.
Talking about how they don't that they think that we shouldn't hunt and we shouldn't do anything. Basically like humans shouldn't be there. I think that they already are a hive mind of alien lizard people.
Lizard people. I knew we were getting.
I can't tell if you're making fun of me or not.
No, I'm not making fun of you. No, I think that they are here. Well, I mean, I don't think I'm pontificating that maybe they're here to try to wipe all of us out with plague and famine and socialism so that the aliens can move in.
Dude, the Earth is flat.
I'm down.
Earth is flat.
Water and air.
I'm co-signing that lizard people theory.
I don't know how like far off the beaten path you guys go as far as like conspiracy. So I'm going to just try to keep this like very close to center here. But in talking about like how I was just talking about like the collective consciousness and all of that. Like, so let's just all pretend that we are all one human species, like the four of us here. Now imagine whoever it is, it doesn't matter if you say it's the elites or whoever, that they are actually a different species of human. And so in that, they are connected to a different collective consciousness, so that the way that they think and the things that they do and the way that they react is attached to a different consciousness. So you can say that's like an alien or a reptile or whatever. It doesn't really matter what you call it, but it's literally, I mean, don't you feel like you're living on a different planet than some people sometimes with how you see the world?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, I live in
I
the
think
hood,
so.
so it's very different. Yeah.
Dude, how hood do you live?
Really, really hood. I live on the same block Queen Latifah grew up on.
Yeah,
If
dude.
he was
I've
to
lived
move
in
that flag behind him, the window would have bars on it. That's how hood.
Pretty much, you'd probably see a brick wall.
I've lived in neighborhoods like that, and it does something to you, man. It doesn't, it's not good for you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you, you're right.
You need to see good stuff every day, or you feel fucked up.
I do. That's why I want to move to the woods as my next move. I want to buy a house, and I'm going to live in the middle of nowhere. But
You want to make a cob house with me?
yeah, let's do it.
Raise some feral children.
Dirt mud
Let's
huts
raise
that are
feral-
bulletproof. Dude, they are bulletproof houses. They really are. They
here's
stay
what
cold. They stay cool during the day and warm at night. You can't hit them with a bullet. They're earthquake proof, fire proof, termite proof. I don't know why that's all we build with. Like I don't know why. What do you need concrete for? All right.
What do you need
And
concrete
I'll tell
for?
you why. It's because only hippies build cob houses. I want one, but I don't want to go green. I just want to pour gasoline around it and keep like a fire going, just to like ward off any hippie spirits. I don't want any green.
I'll tell you what I've learned living in the hood. It's weird because like woke black people will talk all the time about like you don't know what it's like to be black because like you don't know what it's like to be followed around a store or be looked at like you're different because you're in a society with all white people. But those are only really black people who go to Columbia and they're around all white people. Mm-hmm. I'm a white guy who lives in the middle of the hood. I am known as the white boy in the hood, and I get weird looks everywhere I go. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, and some of them are more violent than others. And I want to say the first weekend I lived there, fucking a woman with a baby carriage was complaining to my neighbor, and I like cut the corner and heard her being like, I don't like these white people moving in here. This is bullshit and blah, blah, blah. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so it's not so much like you're black, so you're being.
Oh, I can't be poor too.
Well, the thing is, it's not about you being black and being looked at like you're weird or Asian or whatever you happen to be. It's that if you live in a place where you're the only one of those, you're just different. Like if you were a fat black guy who went to Russia, people would follow you down the street because they'd be like, what the fuck are we looking at right now? Because they've literally never seen a fat person or a black person. So they would do that with you. And I've actually had discussions with Russian people I know about that.
I think a lot of us have had,
about that specific thing.
No, we've had a lot of experiences like that. I mean, I remember, during college, I went with my buddy James. He's black. I went to his family's house in like Nashville, Tennessee with all his black friends and stuff. And I remember a little, niece or something like that going saying some racist shit about white people right there. If you look at his marriage pictures, you'll see me as his best man. It's just like one white face and a sea of black people or whatever.
One white face and a sea of black people.
But it's good. It's good to have those experiences as a white person, right?
Like I said, I've learned about one of the.
Dude, I hang out with all black. Dude, I always hang out with black people. I always have. I have so many friends that are black, bro. I mean, I'm not saying that shit, but it's true.
As a journalist, when I moved to East Orange as a journalist,
he dated a black girl. You have a lot of. We're all not racist.
We're all not racist. Everyone get that? All right. No, unless you're an Eskimo, and then
Tucker hasn't though. See that?
I have to tell my not racist story. I have a black girlfriend.
You tell one.
You have a black girlfriend.
Yeah. No. What's funny is she asked. She goes, have you ever like seen somebody with braids before? And I go, like on the street? And she's like, yeah. And I go, yeah, I've met a black person before. Yeah, she's like, well, you're from Alabama. I don't know what the statistics are. And I'm like, pretty much, all right, Jamaica's all black. She's Jamaican. It's all black. If you see a white person, they follow you around because they're like, what in the... If you're outside of sandals, they're like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, this is different. Could you imagine if they saw an Asian? Holy shit.
So Tucker, what you've discovered is it's the Caribbean women, the Caribbean blacks. Those are, I mean, yeah, it's different. It's just different. It's different than the, African Americans. Totally different. And I believe Kamala Harris is Jamaican, isn't she? And
I don't know what.
She shouldn't even be
day of the week is
family. Fucking
what day of the week is it? I don't know. Is she Native American or is she Jamaican today?
Can I play this really quick, please? Let me play something really fast.
Play it.
As long as it's not me singing. Oh my god.
No country. And I watch every once in a while some of our great people in Congress who are here. We have a lot of great people here tonight. And we're going to introduce some of them. We have great representatives. But I watch them say,
hold on one second. I got another one. Here we go.
Is that a UFO?
No, it
I'm
says,
so happy that you're
says
playing this.
Loser Palooza. It was circling the Trump rally. Watch. This was over the weekend on Saturday.
Well, that was retarded. It's like they don't think we have fireworks.
and it's very energy is and they're ruining our fields, they're ruining our oceans, and they're all made in China, and they're all made in Germany. Germany and China make 100% of those big wind towers. So they got to be left of us.
Anyway, he is the best. He is the best. And then also, by the way, there was this thing that happened. This is weird.
Oh, dude, yes, I was up there.
You were up there? You got up there? Oh my God! Look at you. You think you're awesome, huh? Wow.
No. I actually was kind of sad that I couldn't see his face like at all. But yeah, I literally see like right where.
You do?
Point to yourself.
Let me get off this. Yeah, that was so weird. Anyway.
The loser palooza thing, this is exactly what I was saying, dude. Like, that's not even a funny fucking insult. Like, it's just so cringe. Like, you spent how much money to fly a plane over 24,000 people to call us loser palooza?
Well, like, it's like, do you remember when
very gay.
Because every now and again they get the bright idea of like, we're going to flood their timelines by using their hashtags, and we're going to use like hashtag MAGA and put like real woke shit in there. And one of them was, we're going to use hashtag Proud Boy and only put guys kissing each other and like gay stuff in there and stuff like that.
Honestly, I thought that the Proud Boys did that themselves just to troll everybody.
Right. Well, that's the thing,
exactly
because
something they would do.
it's this weird perception thing of, we know what their argument is, and we about whatever, and we know what they're going to say, and they have no idea what we're actually like or what we actually think. So they, in their mind, this is something that like really is we're gonna go, no gays, god damn it. And
dude, you are so right. It is their own perception. I have a buddy, Coletti. Oh shit, I said his name. I shouldn't have said his name. Anyway,
Coletti's name. I love that guy.
Oh, he honestly, because I've said his name already, I'm going to do him justice and say that he has been not affiliating with me. So if you have anything to do with him professionally, just so you know, he does not affiliate with me whatsoever based on my political, whatever. Anyway, but
just so you know, my friend's a stand-up guy. He doesn't even talk to me. He's the best.
No,
he has standards.
Yeah, dude, it's just... It's the thing is, just like you said, he's not even a liberal. I really wouldn't even consider him as that. But the thing is, his perception of what we are is totally off base. 100%.
And you can't untalk them out of it. And another a good example, well, because they wrote articles about that, how they took over the Proud Boy hashtag thing with gayness, and they wrote like, it's driving them crazy. And I'm like,
I got friends that are gay. I don't give a fuck.
I didn't know one Proud Boy, one conservative who went, stop doing that. Like, no, not one person really gave a shit. But in their mind, they're like, oh, they secretly are going bananas. A great example of this is like the black chick I was dating. I could not untalk her out of the fact that she thought, and all her friends too, thought that white people really give a fuck about their hair. And I was like, no, that's a black thing.
I like to touch it.
I was like, you guys care about like good hair and like putting in weaves to make your hair look straight or something. Like, and I always told my girlfriend, like, you look cool with the little fucking afro. Just do that.
Fuck those weaves, man. It's so fake.
Right. And that's what I used to tell her. I'm like, why can't you just grow your hair out and have like the cool twists or something in your hair? And she'd be like, oh no, because white people won't hire you because they think it looks unprofessional. I'm like, who? Like, listen, I am a white person and I've been white my whole life.
I have Verizon Wireless with an afro.
It's the coolest look.
Facts.
Yeah. And it's like,
I saw an article
Yeah.
after the rally that was like putting like percentages on the amount of diverse people that were in the pictures of the rally. And so there was like only 12 out of 240 pictures showed Latinx people or black people or whatever. And it's like, now you're like literally, well, first of all, like how many of those people are gay? Like coming from a liberal point of view.
How many people are actually Latin that they're assuming aren't?
Well, and that too, that's what I'm getting at is like, and then,
Bobby Pickles.
like, so
we're in
for me,
Florida. Everybody's Latin. They'll just start speaking Latin or Spanish, and you would assume they were white. They're Cuban or Venezuelan or whatever it is.
It's not
Like,
how you
yeah, like,
the
pronounce
fact that we don't give everybody a 23andMe test before they enter a fucking
that's what
rally.
I'm saying.
Okay. Hold on one second.
Why do you care so much about race and DNA, people?
What the fuck?
God, you're a fucking racist.
The
You're a fucking
conquistadors
loser-palooza.
fucked the Indians. That's what happened. The
And so did I.
conquistadors fucked the Indians, and a new race was formed. They were called Latin Americans.
Catholics are killing it again.
But they have,
Yes,
That's
exactly.
why I converted.
but they have a
We
lot
are
of
the conquerors.
they have a lot of white in them too. People really don't realize the whole thing with Latin America and even what it is. It's part of America, and they, you could have somebody from Europe move to a Latin American country, let's say Argentina, where most Italians went to Argentina. They didn't go to New York. They went to Argentina.
I thought that was the Germans went there.
And the Germans, but the most Italians that live outside of Italy live in Argentina, not New York, not in America. That's where they went. So,
I mean, look at me. Like I know that I'm Panamanian and Venezuelan, 50-50, first generation American, but look at me. I'm native. My ancestors migrated after all of that and got pushed down. And now I'm here back in America, and who cares anyways? Like even all of that, all of the bloodshed that happened, like everything. It's like, this is history. No one owes anyone anything. No one owes anyone anything for what anyone's ancestors did. We are living now and like supposed to. That was the beautiful thing about being at the rally, like seeing just pure acceptance and love for humanity.
Hey, we're all Americans. What a fucking concept.
I was about to ask you, like, what is your claim of not racism?
Listen,
we all hang out with black people. What is yours?
Well,
Before you
I'm
say this,
brown,
Tucker-
so I can't be racist.
Are you gonna hang out? You're gonna claim your
multiracial
mom?
white supremacist?
Your mom is a colored person, first generation. All right,
Hey,
fine.
I know.
I guess
I'm
she's not
colored.
racist, guys.
I'm colored.
Not anymore. Take it away from her.
Don't you know? I'm oppressed.
Apparently, I mean, but the thing, like we were talking about, is these people who get this like cultish thought in their head don't understand where we're even coming from, and you can't talk them out of it. Like, I could be like, no, you're talking to the guy you want to talk to, and I'm telling you this is what we think, and they're like, no, you probably aren't letting black people in the rallies. I'm like, have you ever been to a conservative thing where a black guy shows up? We hug him and kiss him and go, oh, you're here.
Listen, guys.
Thank God.
I would love to have more diversity there, but they're too fucking stupid to figure it out.
Well, how about the fact that?
Sorry, but if I walked into a rally and I saw a sea of black people, I would be ecstatic. I would be so happy. I'd be like, oh my God, this is fucking great. Everybody's realizing. Yes. You know?
I've said this over and over again. I would rather, when people talk about, because they also think, this is their thing that I hear over and over again, that we're worried about like white extinction, and we're worried that like, oh, we're not going to be the majority for longer. And it's like, I've always said, if this country became 100% black, but they stuck to the Constitution like it was the fucking gospel, I would rather that than having the country become 100% white and liberal socialist Marxist bullshit. 100%.
Paul, that is very similar to something I usually say, which is if I went into my Catholic church tomorrow and they had a black Jesus hanging up, I would just pray to Jesus. I wouldn't give a fuck at all.
The real Jesus or black Jesus?
Whatever Jesus, I don't care. I don't care what color's up there. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I would go like this. All right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I won't care.
Right before you tore that black Jesus right out of the church and started screaming in his face, "You're not the real Jesus. # my Jesus is white."
Yeah. But listen, minorities are too stupid to figure out that Trump is the best. And no, I'm just joking.
Okay, go Biden.
But the problem is
they also can't get lawyers. They can't get IDs. What else?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, these people don't get it. And I don't know any argument. I don't know any argument that they have where I am grossly misinformed and they're telling me something totally new about their perception. I've never had that discussion. I've had it a lot the other way.
Debunked. That's the thing. How can you have every one of your arguments debunked and you still believe it and preach it with impunity? Like with
okay, so
that is
what you are saying. What you are saying right now, Tucker, literally like verbatim. That is what a leftist would say about the election. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, it's been debunked.
Oh my God. I debate these idiots on Twitter. Fucking God.
Snopes said it. Snopes said it.
Google it.
Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it.
Google it. They say, Google it.
My favorite Google it I ever heard was when, do you remember when Google changed the definition of fascist in the Google dictionary?
Dude.
And started calling it right wing when it was never defined as a right wing thing. And literally there was some guy on camera at some protest and he goes, fascist, you're fascist. And the guy's like, I'm not fascist. How am I fascist? I don't like fascism. He goes, fascism is right wing. Google it. And it's in their weird world. They're like, see, we won. We got them to change the definition. Now that's what it is. And it's like, well, no.
Some nerd in a back room at Google with cum-crusted pants who learned how to, code in his mommy's basement. He wrote that or edited it on a website and then pushed publish. That's all. That's all he did.
They got if mad that people were saying learn to code because their jobs are getting taken away. They'll get mad at anything. It's really...
But Paul, I do remember monitoring that word and noticing that had been changed, and they do change a lot. Right in the 2016 election, they changed a lot of words, words, man, a lot of words, bro. It was crazy.
That's why I've just been saying, and you see it too. You can look it up. Like I saw this skit the other day about trust the doctors, trust the doctors, trust the doctors, and all the doctors kept saying it, and then at the end it was like, because they're smarter than you.
Whoa.
And these people, like, they forget, and it goes back to, like, kind of what I was saying about telepathy. But, like, our intuition is so valuable that people do not listen to it anymore. And that's all by design. So I've been saying, like, make intuition great again. Like, the best source is you, the source to God, the source to infinite wisdom that is within all of us. And if it sounds fucked up, it probably is, and so many people have lost connection with that.
I agree with all that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking Indian.
Y'all heard of Pastor Anderson?
No.
Ancient knowledge.
Fucking Indian. Okay.
Sacred not awehi anuga. Be still, crazy horse. It's okay.
By the way, I also hate the way liberals treat Indians like they've never done anything bad. Like there was never an asshole.
There wasn't war before we came here.
Well, and they did the same exact thing. They conquered lands, they murdered people. Like,
they killed each other all the time. It was a hobby.
It's almost like that was a human thing. And that back in the day, if you wanted something, you just went, well, fuck those people across the river. And then you went and you took it. And it's like, nobody gets mad at like the Huns. Nobody gets mad at like the Mongols or the Celts or any other group. But then when it's like, listen, sometimes you lose. Sometimes you come out on the losing end. And you should be grateful that you end up in a country that has wars and revolutions and this and that, and then becomes America and goes, hey, listen, we're a melting pot now. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be like British to be American or something like that. You could be whatever. And if you live here, you're a citizen. If you're born here, whatever.
When will they be happy?
Wait a second. I just came upon something.
Never. It has to keep going. I listened to a podcast with what's his name? Bishop Robert Barron and that gay guy. What's his name? The
Milo
Tucker.
No. Not Milo, the liberal one. What's his
the gay liberal. Well, that narrows it down.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Andy Dick.
What's his name? The gay liberal that the Rubin Report.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Marco Rubin.
Yeah, so they did one, and they the question was asked, when will they be sated? Like when will they be satisfied? When like is there a point where it's everything is copacetic? And Rubin said, unfortunately, no. Liberalism has to keep going. It has, because otherwise it ends. Like it has to build on itself and get more and more ridiculous. He goes, where we're at right now, I'm pretty happy with. But it, being a classical liberal or whatever, it just a classical liberal, it has to keep growing. And he goes, and at this point, I'm kind of at a crossroads.
Hey, do you think that back in the 1500s?
Come here. Come over here. Come to the right. We have cookies. Come to the dark side.
Dude, did I just step on your punchline, bro? I really apologize. Yes. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, but I had this thought that, and I can't, because I'm on the beef tips, I really can't,
you got the meat sweats in bed.
Can't hold on to it. Can't hold on to it too much. But back in the 1500s, do you think that they were concerned about what people did 200 years before? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
They couldn't read or wipe their ass with toilet paper.
And that's why my children will be like that too. They'll be using corn husks and not reading.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We've actually talked about it on Radio Deadly before, where I've said, hypothetically, let's say we give liberals literally everything they want. Like everything. We go, we're communists now, and here's reparations for this group, and that, and do it all. There's no guns. Would they go, we did it? No. It's always, and no matter what you give them, the speech always goes, well, this is a good step, but we have a long way to go still. And they did it with my favorite example, because we all could know it because we were alive, is gay marriage, where they said, all we want is gay marriage. That's literally all we want. And they go, well, slippery slope. No, slippery slope what? We want to get married. When people love each other, they should get married and have legal rights and benefits. And then one day the Supreme Court, literally we all woke up and they were like, by the way, gay marriage is legal now because they won this court case, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't even celebrate it for like a day. They didn't even like stop and smell the roses and go,
we should be able to marry a monkey. Monkey rights.
No, they literally were
primate rights.
they're
dolphin
literally
rights,
like, you should be
bugs
able to
should be
castrate
considered
your
people.
children, and they should be able to be on hormones, and they should be, and you go, wait, hold on. I think this is the slippery slope. Everyone's trans, by the way, and you should grow tits if you're a man, and we should call you a lady.
What
If you're Bobby
percentage does
Pickles,
that
you do
make
that.
up?
That doesn't-
You son of a bitch, Tucker.
You made a gay joke about me. I'm making a TikTok.
I was,
about you.
but I was waiting for that, and you picked it up. That's why I call you a great comedian. You have great comedic instinct, Tucker. Good job, buddy. And listen, take that to the fucking stage, man, or you'll have wasted talent, my friend. Anyway, back to Lala.
I appreciate it.
Well,
I'll have
what
to
I was just
give
gonna
you,
say-
like, a stipend for boosting
This
my confidence.
topic specifically, like, is especially triggering for me. And I actually, I heard you say that you had someone transgender on your podcast, which I actually appreciate because I love to hear someone's perspective who actually went through. And I also did have someone who suffered with gender dysphoria, which is a mental illness. And, in the same way that, like, if I went to my doctor and said, hey, I don't feel like I should have my arm here because I really don't feel like I should have it, they wouldn't cut it off. And the fact that they attack the children with this is just like such a fucking triggering point to me on such a small population of an actual mental illness instead of actually going to the root of the problem. And I don't know if you guys know about like the Tavistock Institute and not only just like their origin or what they are. You don't know what it is?
I don't know.
Okay. So the Tavistock Institute actually, it's existed since the Beatles, and it's been said that like their entire purpose is to like control the masses with brainwashing and social engineering. And so they actually created the Beatles, the Doors, the Grateful Dead as starting as like an anti-war movement, and to control how people process things and think of things. And there's an entire movement with that within the Institute for transgender children specifically, to where there was a whistleblower that came out and said it was very fucked. Like they just pushed it. There was absolutely no, like talk about other types of therapy or seeing. It was just like, okay, you are confused and you're 8 years old. Let's get you on hormone therapy. And there's been people to come out of that specifically. What's the guy's name? Dr. Ron Paul or whatever, when he was talking to Dr. Rachel Levine. He specifically referenced someone from there who actually destroyed her life because of their guidance. And so it's a lot deeper than just liberalism and gay people, is my point.
I don't understand the benefit specifically to the other than we have an agenda to let's get the children involved with this and push them in that direction. Especially children are impressionable. If you grow up liking football and tell your kid you should play football and root for the fucking Jets and stuff, they'll do it. Like, and then they'll grow up and be a Jets fan and, know everything about football. If you tell them constantly, no, you're a woman and that makes me happy and I love you because you're a lady, and you're fucking with the kid's head.
At least it's not Tampa Bay.
The thing I always
He just won the Super Bowl and Stanley Cup.
Fuck Tom Brady.
The Stanley Cup.
All
You
of
don't
that
even
is
have ice.
making gay anyway, so.
Why are y'all able to even have a hockey team? It's hot down there. There's never been ice. You shouldn't be good at hockey.
Phoenix shouldn't have a fucking hockey team. Phoenix has never seen snow, and they have a fucking hockey team. It drives me nuts. But anyway, they
but Tampa wins occasionally.
Now they do.
He's Joe Roganing over there. He's just smoking, and then that's crazy, man.
Well, you know what?
Trans.
I'm gonna do some beef tips right now.
Trans beef tips.
I don't want to
point that I always make.
No. Lala was making a great point, actually, that you guys are glossing over. And
let's gloss over it.
No, don't gloss over it.
Okay.
What was the last point you were making? Fuck, I had a point on that one.
Well, I was making my point was that it's a lot deeper than just liberalism and gay people.
I have a point. Here it is.
Of our culture.
Here it is. Okay, when I was like in 6th grade, I went and got glasses and pretended like I couldn't see and shit like that. I don't know why I did that. It's so stupid, but I did that because I don't know. I was a little kid, and
It's a
actually,
weird kid thing to do.
I have a 20/20 vision. I have like perfect vision. I will never have glasses. Really, maybe I
Just
will
a
eventually.
Weird child.
Yeah.
No. On top of that, Lala, you hit something too that I wanted to say. Like, kids are fucking weird. When I was a little kid, I thought that I wanted to be a girl because I just loved women so much. I thought the female form was the fucking tits. Like, literally, I love, but I didn't know how to express that. I was a kid. I was like, I want that one day. I want boobies. I didn't know how to express that. I didn't know that I just wanted them in my face. I thought I wanted them on me. But if my parents had been liberal faggot buttholes, I would I'd be so fucked up right now without a wiener and chemically castrated. But thank God they were like, no, just you're a kid. Like, here, you can have a Barbie. And the first thing I did was take its dress off and look at its boobies. Like, thank God my parents just calmed the fuck down and didn't slow the roll.
Exactly. And like, we all have like masculine and feminine energy within each of us. We all do. Everyone sitting here. I'm a very masculine woman, for example. Like, that's why it's hard for me to find like a man that's more masculine than me. You know, and not in a like sex or gender way, just like that's my energy.
Married?
No. And so I'm looking for someone to move to the woods with. But
hey,
raise feral children.
Start our compound right now.
Figured it out.
But what I was going to say, to your point, is you asked why, you know, and it's really a lot more sinister and nefarious than just like these gay people that are pushing this agenda, because they're doing it because there's the social justice warriors, which they don't realize is that they are pushing Marxism, and that's even still very shallow. Because in my opinion, I do believe, based on like what I've researched, is there's a link between transgenderism, the things that babies get at the doctor, and autism and transhumanism. So there is a connection with people with autism and like Elon Musk, like Neuralink, for example. So if you have like no physical manifestations of autism, then you can literally like, so this is, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to make it a shorter story. So if they're pushing into society, like, wow, wouldn't it be so much easier if you could just take your consciousness out and put it into like a male body, and trying to normalize the idea of transhumanism? And they're doing it through this other agenda. It's a roundabout way, which is a whole nother sinister agenda in itself, but that's a whole show. So
yeah, well, here's the thing. When I was a little kid, when I was like 7, I thought I was a cop and I would write my friends citations. Like, for real.
You
weren't even cool. Like, I'm giving you a warning.
You were like, I'm sorry, I'm the law. Nobody gets away. The law is blind.
I would walk in my neighborhood in Rochelle Park, New Jersey, and be like, oh, you were speeding on your bike and stuff like that. And they'd like, what? And I would take pieces of paper and write like,
make your payments to the
court. Because I was a weird kid. I wasn't a cop. Like my parents didn't go, you are a cop. They said,
you can make your payments to the Hoboken, New Jersey District Court.
Yeah.
Or like tattoos that you might have gotten as a younger person, you know, like if you could get a tattoo when you're 16, for example, what would you have? And like, what a big mistake.
Well, that's the thing.
You know,
I'm like fucking covered in tattoos. Like, I have tattoos all over my back, my chest. I didn't get my first tattoo till I was like 22. And I like my tattoos because I didn't get some gay nonsense when I was 16. And the funniest thing ever, I have a lot of friends who own tattoo shops. And one of them took a phone call, and I'm listening to like one end of the call, and he goes, how old is she? Yeah, no, you really can't bring her in. No, not because their bodies need time to grow. And I'm like looking at him like, what the fuck? And I go, what was that? He goes, some guy has a 12-year-old daughter and wanted to bring her in to get her tattooed and said, is it okay? I'm her parent. And I was like, your job as the parent, if you're covered in tats, is to say, yeah, when you're 18, do whatever the fuck you want. But right now, you're not going to get shit. And hey, like, Bob, that's the point.
Tattoos. How about you tell
What?
us about your favorite one that got you on
My-
TV?
I love it,
What?
dude. This is great, Tucker. This is the relationship we need to form. It's called Spy versus Spy, where we constantly help each other, but then we trip each other as well. That is very, very smart tactic. I love
I'm gonna
this.
shove you down the stairs. I don't fucking care.
What tattoo got you on TV?
I was on America's Worst Tattoos, TLC.
No.
Yeah, they flew me out. They flew me out on Virgin Airlines, and then they picked me up in a limo. It was nice. That same,
What
oh
was
my
the
God, that
tattoo?
same black friend that I went
That's
to
what I was
Nashville.
gonna ask. It's the same guy.
It's
Yes.
the same guy, yes. Yes, it's the
So
same.
you've had one black friend in your life.
No, I haven't had one.
And his name was
I-
T-Bone.
But no,
T-Bone,
we were good friends growing up and shit, and I did something stupid, no homo, but I put another
Something's not-
man's name on my back. I made like a caricature, like a cartoon image. I got to get a picture of that. I should actually show you. It's fucked up. Let me find
Wait,
it.
you have a black guy's face tattooed to your back?
I had it.
Can I tell you what I remember about it?
Yeah.
All right, it's like JJ and the WAP, and it's two dogs back to back holding guns, pointing at the like you.
Yeah.
Like, away, like at
Yeah.
the picture.
and the word WAP on my back underneath the Italian flag.
That's awesome.
Hold on, let me
We
get
gotta
it. Here it
see
is.
it.
Here
I
it is.
love
here
You
it is,
should
here it
never
is.
have gotten rid of that.
The Adventures of Captain Dula and Rob the Wop.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's what it used to have on there. I mean,
That's huge. Oh my god!
but it got I got a cover up and
With
stuff.
what? What's the cover up?
I got a really. I played this shit on here before. Oh,
Is
hold
it
on.
something way less memorable than that?
That's hilarious.
Hold on.
Is it the two mermens kissing under dicks that are coming? Oh,
No, it's based on Bukowski, the Bluebird poem.
okay.
There's a bluebird in my heart that wants to get out.
That's a good looking tattoo, at least.
They did a good job. covering it up.
It actually set me off in actually getting decent color tattoos, and because I only got like black and gray before that, and then I was like, oh wow, if you actually pay like a little bit of money, you get a fucking nice tattoo. It's an investment. It's an investment.
I do like curse word tattoos though. I have the 7 dirty words tattooed to my ribs.
I know. I saw that. That's great. I love that tattoo, bro.
I
That's
have a
great
hoe
tattoo.
handle. But that's the thing. It's like I think tattoos should be like a little dangerous. And now it's like everybody has them. Like right after I started getting tats, thinking like, wow, this is pretty crazy. I'm getting tats like this. And then like everyone had like full sleeves of fucking nonsense. And I was like, what is this? And to this day, like the knife shadow tattoo that I have bums people out. Like what? Because they'll. I have like scissors and all sharp things and stuff here, and people go, "Oh, are you a barber?" And I'm like, "What? No." And they're like, "Well, you have scissors." And I'm like, "Oh no." I go, "I also have like nails and razor blades." Like I go, I remember being in line at like a Walgreens. And I went, "No, I just like sharp things." And literally, the person looked at me and went, "Oh," and like walked back and put their head down. Like they were so like bummed out. Like, "Oh, you're a psychopath." Oh, I understand. And I was like, good. You should be freaked out. That's what tattoos are there for, to freak out squares. You should look at my shit and be like, well, I shouldn't bring you home to my daughter. You shouldn't. That's what this means. That's what all this means. Don't bring me home to your daughter.
My armpit tattooed, which freaks people out. It's
Your
like,
armpit?
That is kind of crazy.
Actually, on your armpits?
It does look like a hairy armpit.
Oh wow! That must have
2021.
That must have hurt really bad, right?
That sucked.
That hurt.
yeah, it hurt. But I was like, that's how like I'm a little bit psycho because not a normal person has it.
No,
Well,
that's
because
pretty
you're
awesome,
Latinx.
actually. Wow.
Well, do you have
It's
just
for
your armpits
Latinx, but I'm
tattooed?
also very interested.
No,
Do you
I
wanna
have,
go,
like-
start a cob farm?
Half of my back, all the way down to my thigh, I have like a huge octopus. I have like kind of a nebula, infinite consciousness, and then Albert Einstein portrait.
What?
Yeah.
You have an Albert Einstein portrait?
Why that Jewish nerd?
Dude.
Why him?
I know. It should have been Tesla. I regret it. That's the only one.
Wow.
He was wrong. E equals
He is
MC
wrong.
squared got disproven.
The
He's
Earth
a
is
retard
flat.
Nerd.
Dumbass.
Earth is
Failed
flat.
third grade.
Yeah.
I
You
agree.
dumb motherfucker, Albert Einstein.
I have Mark
Stupid.
Twain tattooed
If you
on
don't
me.
have at least one tattoo that you regret, do you even have any really good tattoos?
Yeah, I accidentally stabbed myself in the leg with a pencil once, and I really regret that. It left a mark.
I got the collarbone change because I had "Your Servant to the Truth," and my friend Finley put it on a kitchen table in East Orange, New Jersey. And when he put it on me initially, I said before he started doing the tattoo, I was like, "It looks a little uneven." And he goes, "No, when I put it on, it'll look great." I went, "Okay, are you sure? Because it looks uneven." He went, "No." So we got to the end, and now I'm looking in the mirror going, "It looks exactly uneven." I go, look how high this is and low. And he looked and went, "Oh, I could fix that." And I go, "Okay." Swear to God, he just at the end of truth put ... and then looked and went ... So I had "Your Servant to the Truth" with 4 periods at the end. So I had the heart and the flower covering it up, but covering up yours. So now it just says "Servant to the Truth." It has that. But I remember that being a thing where it's like I have an ellipses and a period. It's the most grammatically incorrect fucking thing.
Yeah.
So I got that covered just because but it wasn't because I didn't like the tattoo. It was like the guy kind of fucked it up. So I got that. I also have Frank Zappa, Sam Kinison, and Bela Lugosi dressed like clowns.
Yes,
Like,
but are those cover-ups?
No.
But I have other cover-ups as well. I think that life is all about that, making stupid tattoos and then hiring another tattoo artist to cover it up somehow. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
So should I somehow get an artist to change Einstein into Tesla?
okay, can you
No.
tell us?
No, just
can you first
you right next to it. Right next
do
to it, with a
zombie
guy holding a
Einstein.
bazooka aimed at him.
can you
'Cause
tell
that's
us
better
about
than a
that though?
cover-up. Just
Why-
we're gonna wipe that out.
Why did I get
Yeah,
Albert Einstein?
yeah.
Because you went, "He's smart, and I'll get this, and then I'll be smart."
Well, it's like, you know what? I also got my DNA taken, and now I have like some super soldier made of me somewhere, but
Cool.
he makes stupid decisions sometimes. But E equals MC squared, I mean, I didn't really know that it was debunked, to be honest with you.
Well, that was
but,
like this month.
Oh, really?
Well, it was like recently, like in the last like couple years.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is that debunked?
Because they made something go slightly faster than the speed of light.
Okay. All right. So if you buy into all of the NASA stuff and all of that, okay, whatever. To me, it really like speaks to just like my metaphysical ideas and like the idea that like we are infinite. So energy cannot be created or destroyed is another one of his topics. Do you think that is true or not true?
I think it's gay.
Yeah, energy's for
I'm a
gays.
six pack in. I don't
So-
have. I don't
so
have any
death-
plans.
I guess that's
anymore.
true.
Death is
Are
final.
you
I'm
okay?
not a
So
scientist.
that was my next question. Like, are y'all religious? Are y'all Christians? Like, what's your POV?
Well, I like science, but I'm not like such an expert on it. I could say to you like definitively, no, this is everything of what it is and what controls the universe. Like, so I don't know, to be like, hey, the smartest equation ever. Do you think that's true? It's like that's above my pay grade. I'm a guy who makes wisecracks on a podcast.
So my favorite topic is like metaphysics, which is like questioning our existence. Really, like science is very loose, like religion is very loose. I just like to question our existence. What happens when we die? What is our point here? What is the matter? Like as far as like our DNA is like being 99.9 empty space, like the holographic nature of our universe, like all of this stuff. This is like the stuff that I ponder. Like I like to decode the Bible and things like that. So
You
that's
have
really
cable?
no.
That's why. But hey, that's why you should live off in the woods. You can entertain yourself. I need TV. King of Queens every day is what
I was going to say the living in the woods and raising feral kids things works until the next season of Cobra Kai comes out, and then I'm just going to be like, do you want to see how this plays itself out? I want to see how this shit ends. It's been a pretty good show.
Yeah.
And then-
so that's why I'm single. It's really hard to find someone who likes
And
to
ready
argue
to
about this stuff
mingle.
with me.
No,
I mean, I have picked up a chicken recently. So actually, so I've been wanting to tell this story before the show started.
Go for it.
I didn't pick it up. I had to have a 6-year-old chase it and pick it up because I'm not fast enough. And those
I don't
chickens
think you're going to make it in the woods.
I'm gonna be fine. Those chickens just didn't trust me.
What do you mean?
I'm
You had
going
a
to Tractor Supply.
You had a
and
child
I'm buying
you had a child do it, right? So that's the feral children that you raise. They're going to
and
get
those
the
feral
chickens.
Children, they weren't even mine, but
Perfect.
you know, like that one, I'll adopt her. She caught the chicken, but I held it and I looked at it and I go, "Holy fuck! I'm holding a Tyrannosaurus Rex." Because they are the closest living relative to dinosaurs. And you go, look at you. You are a fucking freak of nature. And then, you know, you set it down and you watch it and you go, like they make weird noise. They make weird noises. And then
Oh my God.
They hunt in a pack, like a triangle, almost like they're like birds flying. They hunt and they take their little, these are wings. These are feet. All right. So they use their foot and they go, and they like scrape the ground and they're looking with their weird little eyes, which are yellow, by the way. It's freaking me out.
Yeah, they
And then they go, and then they're like just picking up bugs. They're just like scraping the ground, and then they just keep walking and they're moving together. And like, it is weird to watch them hunt, but they are dinosaurs. And if you just keep watching them long enough, you're like, I'm terrified.
You've heard
I'm
the
glad
theory
that
of
we
like
eat eggs. Let's keep as little of these around as possible. Thank God
Well,
for
if
KFC.
you
Ryan
They will
Katsu
take over one
Rivera.
day.
Ryan Katsu Rivera would disagree with that, right, Paul?
if you believe in the NASA dinosaur thing, I guess. But
If you believe
Ryan-
those aliens.
Ryan only eats
I was
raw
going to
fish and
say,
seaweed. No, I don't know.
Have you heard
No.
though that theory about like in that environment, as far as like how all the gases and everything was, that things were just bigger? So like,
Yeah.
what if a chicken actually was the T-Rex? Like the woolly mammoth is just a big ass fucking elephant. But
Yeah.
I have killed a gator before, and that is a dinosaur.
with your bare
Did you
hands.
drop a bow on it?
Did you
How did you
poke
kill a gator?
his
Did
eyes
you
out like the
drop a
mountain
bow?
from Game of Thrones?
The it's like I forget what it's called, but a bang stick. It's like a shotgun that you just basically put on its head, and boom, dead.
Like No Country for
Yeah.
Old Men, right?
Holy
Yeah,
shit!
I've never seen that, but you have to catch it first with a harpoon, which my brother did that, and then I shot it.
Nice.
Well,
Damn,
unless
that's
you were
badass.
nude and not using anything but your bare hands, I don't think it counts.
I'd
Well,
wrestle
okay, that's what a liberal would say.
Yes, nude
According to
liberal
you.
alligator wrestling.
Paul lives in a shitty New Jersey neighborhood. He's very close to liberal.
People are burning my house down right now. It's on fire as we're doing the podcast. It's great. No, actually, it's great. I love this neighborhood. I like the people in it. I don't like having to kind of like look over my shoulder anytime a guy I don't know walks by.
Hey guys, while she's gone, what do you think about Lala Beamz?
Hey,
She
nice.
is.
Who's now
I'm
like
gonna
wait,
kidnap
who's
her.
doing
I'm
the
gonna
best?
kidnap
Who's
her
doing
and
the
take her to
best?
my cob house in the
Yeah.
woods.
Who do you think
I
she
think
likes
Tucker-
more?
I think she likes Tucker.
You think so? Really?
Yeah.
Uh,
What?
I-
You think she likes you?
I mean, I think everybody thinks she likes us more, you more. I think we all are stupidly thinking that. But I see Paul definitely differently in this interview. And it's because there's the woman dynamic here. And I see how you talk. It's very funny. And you're revealing certain things about your personality.
Why are you talking to me like a producer at HBO? Like, you're a very funny guy, Paul. I see now your dynamic of what you do. Here's
But I do. Anyway.
Hey, how are you? Hey.
So anyway, that's why Tucker's
That's
gay.
why dinosaurs never existed. We
I don't think dinosaurs
talking about
existed the way that they said they did. They didn't get extinct the way they said they did.
no. listen, there were none of them, and those scientists buried the bones and dug them up later.
I know people
obviously,
think
yeah,
that,
That's crazy.
No, it's actually very obvious. None of those bones are real. So that's what I was saying about the chicken is like, is it a T-Rex? Who the fuck said that? I mean, a gator is a dinosaur. So what do you consider a dinosaur?
I'll tell you what I was. They just
found the dragon in Asia recently, which means dragons did exist. And they're all over like ancient buildings.
We're going to need that link for that.
Yeah.
No, I believe that dragons
literally was just found.
Really?
If you read the Bible, it said that, that God cursed God cursed the snake to crawl on its belly for the rest of its days because Satan used it to speak to Adam and Eve. What the fuck did it look like before? If it crawled on its belly already, God wouldn't have cursed it that way. It had fucking wings. Firework 4th of July brain right now.
What the fuck was that? Or maybe, or maybe, I don't know. Some of the guys writing the Bible were barely able to read anyway, so they didn't think it through. Oh, look at that!
Because they were shit.
Holy shit!
No, you know what I was obsessed with for the longest time? You know how they say like whales once lived, because I love whales for some reason. And when they say like whales once lived on the land and they were these massive things.
And we're not talking about somebody in a casino. Anyway,
no, not land whales in that way.
We're not talking about your Guinea. We're not talking about your Guinea uncle in a casino. Sorry.
You know what's funny? Anytime I see a fat guy on one of those scooters, I'll say under my breath, "Hey, Meals on Wheels," just to entertain my friend. And people will just be like, "Did you just say that out loud?" I'm like, they don't know I'm talking about it. Like, you could get away with so much shit because people are just not assuming you're talking about them, and you'll be like, "Look at this motherfucker," and talk so much shit in a Walmart. It's wonderful. But I was obsessed with the thought of what whales looked like before they were whales, and there's like, because we don't have bones of the thing of whatever it was. And apparently they did live on land at one point, but there's no like skeleton of like what a blue whale looked like with feet. And I've always I've looked up drawings of how they figure they look, and it's fucking crazy to me. And I wish it frustrates me that I don't quite know what one of those fucking things may have looked like.
Okay, that's it.
Like
Do you guys believe in flat Earth? And I'm sorry, Tucker.
And whales are in the same family.
What happened?
Dogs and whales are in the same family.
Yeah, that's what they said. But did they look like a big fucking golden retriever? Like what?
And who said that?
I don't know. I just looked
do this for a living.
Scientists
said so.
Yeah.
Where were the scientists from?
Germany.
Probably Israel. I gotta see.
Okay, I'll answer your question, Bobby.
They weren't from the Congo, I'll tell you that.
I'll answer your question, Bobby.
What is it?
I believe that we live in a black hole planet, which is comprised of both of these theories and more. So it's a little bit complicated.
Do you want to talk to Dave Weiss?
I already have.
You already talked to him? Oh, nice. So what did you think about his presentation?
I loved it.
And are you basically converted? Would you consider yourself a flat earther now?
No, I believe in the black hole planet, which is both. And it also explains the holographic nature of our universe.
It's both? Explain that for me, please. I don't know anything about that.
So I'm really bad at explaining it. I did a whole podcast episode on it with the man who really does explain it, but it really has to do with are you a flat earther, first of all? Because I'm like, which one do I have to convince you of?
No, I had David Weiss on, and, I thought that what he was talking about was pretty interesting or whatever, I've heard the whole thing. I know the whole shit. We live in the Antarctic basin, flight patterns, the sunset, everything. I've watched him, a bunch of his interviews before I interviewed him. Yeah. So I knew the whole PowerPoint presentation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before he got on.
Did he sell you, Bobby? Did he sell you on it?
I think that there are some things that are definitely really crazy. If you look at flight patterns, that is a thing that is weird, man. That is weird. When they do like emergency landings, if you're going from Buenos Aires, Chile to Australia, you just go directly across. That's what you're supposed to do. But you go all the way up here and all the way down here. And it's like, why do you do that? And then if you look at it on a flat map, he's got the flat Earth map app or whatever. He'll show you that it's just right in a line. You're going straight in a line. That's it. And there's a lot of examples like that. And there's people that like these different, on record plane flights where they've stopped emergency landing in different weird areas where you're like, why would they do that? They flew the same distance up here when they could have just gone right here and then gone to their original destination right now because a lady's pregnant on the plane or whatever and having a baby right now. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's weird.
Sort of, except for the fact that, okay, so if we're going to actually fucking entertain this goddamn cockamamie fucking theory in this thing.
Whoa.
No. Let's get Dave Weiss on. Hey, Paul, let's get Dave Weiss on Michael Graves.
Yeah, no.
It's going to be a great show.
Hold on. You don't put Dave Weiss on with me right now, like this unresearched guy who you threw this at and then go on, Dave, you do this for a living. Get him. It's like, put Dave Weiss on with a guy who could actually say things like, I don't know, what are the benefits of being like, let's all pretend the earth is round? And by the way, not just pretend, but I'm talking about if you're navigating a fucking boat. That means every boat captain since fucking Columbus had to be in on this whole fucking thing. And not just boat captains who are like military. Like if you're a Carnival Cruise white trash fucking boat captain, they have to go, all right, come here, come into this room. We're going to let you in on a little secret, but make sure you don't fucking tell anyone. We all know the earth is flat. I know it's flat. You know it's flat. But you have to keep the lie going.
They do that.
To the Carnival Cruise boat captains.
No,
guys who just like buy
they
a
don't.
fucking
No,
yacht.
they do not need to do that. They don't need to.
Why don't we
not
just
to them,
start a
not to them.
GoFundMe? Why don't we just start a GoFundMe and send the flat Earth, like the leader of the flat Earth, up there and let him just decide?
Okay,
Like let him see it and go, holy shit!
This topic is.
It's a ball.
Dude, that is so hilarious. I love that idea, Tucker. You crazy fuck. Let's put oh my God, yes. Give, send, go, because that's the only people that allow us to have that platform.
Give,
apparently.
send, go. Yeah, that's true.
Let's
settle it for finally. I'm tired of talking about
their
whether it's
thing,
flat or not.
which is preposterous.
Well, we will
is-
send Dave Weiss
this is
into
my
space.
Sure.
This is my point.
But
So, like-
why not? If it makes them happy. But their whole thing, which is fucking preposterous, the logic that they use is like, well, if you didn't see it yourself or if you can't understand it, that means we're right. And just because I don't know everything about geography and aerodynamics doesn't mean that literally everyone who's ever done it is fucking wrong except for Dave Weiss. It's
Okay, so
it doesn't make
you're
any
getting
fucking
very
sense.
emotionally charged, and this is what typically happens.
White
with
coat
people who
bootlicker.
are not open-minded enough to see. So, like, the globe Earth versus flat Earth in itself is similar to right versus left, any kind of paradigm that we're talking about. And what I have found actually, because I don't believe either, like I said, I believe in the black hole planet theory, which is very unpopular.
Right.
But when I presented this, even to the flat earthers, they laughed in my face. And so I actually found it quite interesting that these people who are constantly being laughed at and ridiculed and seemingly very open-minded didn't even have it and to expand that maybe they're not right. Maybe they didn't figure it all out.
Lala, can I jump in really fast? When we were at the mall and you put, not we, but when we were kids, you go to the mall, you see that thing, you put the coins down and it's like a black hole, right? It's like the coins are going like this. Do you remember that? Do you remember those things?
Right. Yeah.
Where it goes like, that's what I always thought that we were on or something. I always thought that that's what we were going towards a black hole though. Is that what you're talking about or what?
Yeah. And like the whole idea of like, if you think about like energy, like if you believe that we are energetic beings, if you believe that Mother Earth has energy that she expels. And if like the whole idea of Antarctica being the highest point on Earth is curious in itself, and also like lends to like hollow Earth theory or the flat Earth theory or Operation High Jump. I don't know how much you guys know about that. That in itself should like raise your little antennas that something fucking weird is going on in Antarctica. I'm not saying I'm not even going to make any assumptions on what that could be, but there's something happening in Antarctica that they're hiding from us.
Are you familiar?
Well, they have
with
military bases and stuff in Antarctica
Hughes?
because it's away from everything.
Somebody just
What'd
sent
you
me
say,
something
Parker?
because they're watching right now. Have you guys heard of Mike Hughes, the guy who built a homemade rocket to try to prove the Earth was flat, and he got blown up and died?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, I did hear about that guy. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I just got
poor bastard.
that shit because somebody's watching right now, and they're like, "This seems like a good thing to throw out there." Have y'all heard of that?
No, but I really would
never
actually
heard of it.
like to ask Dave Weiss about that. Definitely.
Well,
Hey,
thing is-
Bobby, you should have the Black Hole Planet guy on here.
I would love to.
Well, to me, that's way more interesting than flat Earth because I don't know anything about it. So I would like to hear the argument for why
I gotta pee.
that might be the case.
I
But
have to grab a chart.
oh, okay.
Hold on.
So Tucker, how are you?
I'm pretty
Everyone
cool.
just fucking booked the second I opened my goddamn mouth.
Look, okay, this is my whole thing. Everybody here seems to want to get smarter, and I want to do the exact opposite.
You're
I
just trying
think
to
that
dumb yourself down.
we are too smart, and I want us to all get dumber as a society. I want us to all go backwards in time so that our people, like we're more in touch with nature, and that we can, like sniff out predators, or we can like just kind of go, it's about to be, like you just kind of go,
Well, that's why I definitely think
season's coming. We better start harvesting.
I think it's going to take a couple generations before you could taste the air but still,
I know
like,
it should
it's
be.
a
It'll
work in
be a
progress.
couple of generations. It will, but that's where I want us to all end up as people. Let's stop going forward and trying to prove whether the Earth is flat or round. That's
not going forward.
It's
That's
not
the
important.
origin.
I hate that fucking.
not.
Hold on. I'm
It's
so
not.
happy.
Let's just go backwards in time and like start building mud huts and tasting air and going, we should harvest soon, kicking around on our ground and going, hey, that's new. That's where we should all be. I think that we will live more fulfilled lives. Who gives a shit if it's flat or not? Who gives a shit if it's going to get taken out by a meteor? There's literally nothing we can do. Like nothing we can do. Just enjoy the life you're living and live like a caveman.
I want to say this. I
Lick a rock,
hate
hug a tree.
I hate that argument. Like, I understand what you're saying, but I hate that argument because I think that so many things are connected to if the Earth is flat or round or whatever. I think that we need to understand.
It's the origin of lies. It's the beginning of lies. This is what we are. Whether you're talking about the election fraud, whether you're talking about like literally anything, it's the origin of lies. And when they started lying to us and hiding things from us, the Bible, for instance, I mean, I could go in on that. Like they lie to us about everything that you think is true is not. So of course I fucking care. Of course I want to know.
The thing is this
with the Jays.
No, but I understand like the origin of lies, but just coming up with like a way, and I'm not saying your deal, I'm saying something as preposterous as flat Earth. Just coming up with
preposterous.
It's
not.
It's not preposterous. The fact that you're not open-minded.
Listen, you are like a liberal that you try to talk to all the time, you stupid motherfucker. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I had to show him how ignorant and hypocritical he's being. He needs to understand.
It's not about open-mindedness. Has nothing.
Yes,
to
it
do
is.
with it.
Yes, it is.
Okay, but it doesn't. And I'm going to explain why. Like what you just said to me before is the argument I've heard all flat earthers make. The second somebody goes, Jesus Christ, why are we even? You go, wow, you're getting upset. And they usually do it way more douchey than you. Like they do a very disconnected, like, why are you getting so upset here, man? Hey, I'm just asking questions. And it's like, but it's not about you asking questions.
But of course they do it douchier. We're Republicans. We do it cooler.
No, but I'm saying it's not about asking questions. It's about the fact that there's certain things that we could all find common ground on. If some guy just came up to me and said, I think shoes are really hats and you should wear them on your head, I'd go, no, they're fucking not. And if they kept insisting and they got 3 friends to go, yeah, man, you're a fucking asshole for not listening and being open-minded and putting shoes on your fucking head, I'd go, what the fuck is wrong with you goddamn people? And
but you're trusting Nazi scientists.
Vermin Supreme did that. He wears a boot on his
Nazi
head.
scientists were the ones who decided that the Earth is round.
Operation Paperclip. Look it up. See
I know exactly what it is. You're not the only one who has YouTube.
So you're saying that you trust these Nazi scientists more than said person who literally has everything.
You're conflating. It's not just Nazi scientists. You're conflating like Operation Paperclip with everything we've ever been told must be wrong because these guys who worked on the space program.
Now you're getting it.
No, but it's there was scientists before them, yeah. Like
you do realize like how
that there's other scientists who weren't Nazis.
Just so you know, like I'm not a flat earther. Again, I'm going to reiterate that.
I'm not understand that. I'm just
the fact
case that I'm making.
Guys, like and share this fucking shit, man. Put it in your Telegram chat. Stop being motherfuckers.
This conversation right
Whatever.
here, like this topic always ends up like this because people are so attached to this lie. Whether it's regardless, either way, whether they lied about it being flat, whether they lied about it being round, you could say it literally either way. But it kind of goes back to what Tucker says. Who fucking cares? Why do people get so worked up over it? Like I do because I just want to know the fucking truth. You do because you're like married to the globe and you have to ask yourself,
is that what I am? Am I?
Sounds like it. Yeah, because you're not like even considering the possibility that could be not the full truth.
I looked up all the same information that's available to you, and then I would look up, I don't know why water doesn't fall off the earth if it seeks the lowest point. Let me look up why. And then I'd look it up and go, that explanation actually makes way more sense that gravity...
So do you think like the sun is 66 million miles away or whatever they say it is?
I couldn't tell you how exactly far the sun is off the top of my fucking head. I am not Wikipedia, but as I said, it's like, I believe the sun is probably millions of miles away, and that's way more likely than the sun is 2,000 miles away, and it's in the dome with us.
Wait,
and
why is it more likely?
Yeah. That's my question.
What the fuck do you know, dude? You're Paul sitting in fucking a shitty, neighborhood in New Jersey.
Oh, don't bring up the fact that he's poor. Just because he's poor doesn't mean he's stupid.
No, I'm not saying that.
Don't you do that, Joe Biden. Poor kids can just be as smart as black kids.
This is what I like to say. This is it. There's nobody above anybody else. There's nobody below anybody else. And we're all going to die someday.
I'm above a few people.
We are all going to die someday. Okay?
Nah,
we're all creatures on this earth.
That's not faster, Bobby.
God. Nobody knows anything.
How do you know that we're all going to die someday?
You know nothing. You know more. You don't know more than the scientists in the lab coat.
Far, I'm right.
Everybody's bullshitting.
You sound like somebody trying to prove Corona's real, and you should take a vaccine.
Every single person is a bullshit artist on this earth.
Can you prove to me that owls exist?
That's what stories are. They're
can you prove that antibiotics work? And I go, I think antibiotics work. How do you know?
I don't care if you believe it or not. I just wish that you would maybe consider that there was more to the story. That's it.
I don't. The problem with it for me isn't that I'm married to the globe. The problem is that it's such an argument that goes. There's no reason for it. Like the most conspiratorial shit, like the Kennedy assassination, let's say. You could come up with 100,000.
That's very not the most conspiratorial shit. Just saying.
Okay,
it's
but as an example, as a broad
example, the moon landings are bullshit.
as a broad example that we all know, the Kennedy assassination. He was the president. There's 1,000 reasons why somebody would want the president of the United States dead, and there's 100 different groups that might want him dead. So therefore, you could put, a reason behind that. So I understand.
You want me to tell you the reason why I think, at least just one simple reason?
Why Kennedy
They want you to think that you were an insignificant piece of shit. The same reason why they want to put critical race theory in our schools, the same reason why they want everything. It all has to do with you feeling like an insignificant piece of shit that is easy to control.
I would add Guinea to that as well.
But I don't even see the relationship with that is the problem.
That is the problem.
I don't go, oh, we're on a globe. That makes me insignificant. Like, I don't.
Oh my God! What if a meteor comes and crashes down on us and all of this?
Good.
Shit, now we're
It'll end this conversation.
Okay.
What if?
Do you guys? I am going to change it. Do you guys know about like Tartaria and like the mud flood and all of that?
No.
Okay. So like Noah's Ark. Are you guys Christians?
I am. I'm Catholic.
Okay.
Catholic.
Okay. So we can all
Tucker,
agree
you're
that
Catholic too?
Converted. Yep.
I love you, Tucker. Anyway, let's go.
Okay.
Sorry.
We can all agree that there was a great flood, and this also, it's honestly all related again, but I'm not going to even talk about the flat earth anymore. There is verses in there in the Bible that specifically talk about it, but that's neither here nor there. But, so there's like great mud flood that like completely wiped out civilizations that existed that they don't teach us about. And so it comes back to the same question. It's like, why? Well, they were more civilized than we are today. They had higher technology. They used like Tesla technology, and no one talks about it. No one explains it. No one says these things because it's almost like they do a reset when society comes to like this awakening point, which I think that we're almost at again now.
Yeah, we found all kinds of archaeological evidence of all kinds of civilizations that were way farther ahead than we've ever thought they were. They found batteries in Egyptian pyramids. They found all kinds of things. So
I've actually seen,
but I'm glad that they got wiped out.
They did find batteries. Do you know what they look like?
Yeah, they looked like big urns.
They look like a clay pot with fucking bullshit in it, and they put a metal rod in it. Like, it wasn't like they found a Duracell.
No, it's not Duracell. It's not. It's just for that time period. You go.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I've actually seen. I'm trying to find it now, but that like ancient, like religious buildings had copper like within the floor of it, and it all had to do with like energy and things of that nature. So
yeah, I leave my crystals out under a full moon to charge them. Yeah, so I kind of know what you're talking about a little bit.
Okay, so I'm sorry. This is why you can't really have me on your show, because I just go. Have you ever heard that the moon is like either a satellite or so it's like this.
The moon is a satellite.
Yeah, no, but it's like it was artificially put there, like it's not made by God, for example.
Like the Death Star.
I've heard of the hollow moon theory, that it's a hologram, which is,
and there's like a military base like in the moon.
But what military? If it's U.S., then I don't want to be a part of this planet anymore.
Aristotle also said, well, that's what they said is like, so like, like if we talk about like rituals and all of this type of stuff, that like they literally like do sacrifices on a full moon and things of that nature. And they like the moon does control like fish. They control like us, like humans. It just controls us. And so some people do believe that it was placed there. There's Aristotle and I think it was Plato or Aristotle. I can't remember who, but they specifically have quotes talking about before the moon, like talking about a time before the moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they also talked about horse people, so it's true.
Dude, like, you are so brainwashed by Gavin McInnes. I can just hear it.
Is this Gavin coming out?
I can hear it within your logic. Yes.
Do you know that like a horse people could just mean Sagittarius, which could just mean the zodiac, which could just mean the sky clock?
It could, but it was something that we talked about. We were talking about conspiracy specifically on Radio Deadly. And one of the things, I forget the specific thing, but Arturo's argument kept coming down to, why would some ancient person make that up? And I went, I don't know, they're fucking bored. There was no cable back then. And they just went, hey, let's make up some shit about a Minotaur because that's kind of interesting. Like, you know, it doesn't mean the Minotaur must have actually existed in the same way Michael Corleone is a fake fucking character in a movie.
It's
but
talking about Sagittarius, the zodiac in the sky.
Sure. But I'm saying, like, do you know that, like, human beings, there's no evidence that human beings knew what the color blue was before, like, 600 years ago?
We still don't know. Who's to say?
No, but I mean,
the
they couldn't observe the color blue. The theory.
How do you?
Because in all the writings and in all the things that we have, there's no reference to anything that's blue colored, and they would call skies white, or whatever the word they had for white was. And they would even say like the sea was wine colored and things like that, but they never said blue, and there was no word for blue, which, what the fuck is that? Which is very interesting. But all we know about that is, does that mean that humans didn't see blue? Definitively, can I say that? Or does that mean that we just, for some reason, didn't come up with a word for it? It means we don't know. And it's okay that we don't know certain things. It doesn't mean that I need to create an elaborate mythos about, well, let me push the dominoes and say, there must have been a Minotaur.
I'm okay not knowing.
Primary color, so if we had green, then we definitely had blue.
I'm okay not knowing, but what I don't get emotionally charged over not knowing, which I'm not talking about you or attacking you in any way, but like I do have conversations with people in my daily life where they get emotionally charged over me just trying to bring up alternative ideas about literally fucking anything. I mean,
I'm Italian. I get emotionally charged over cookies. But I mean, it's not even about like, you know, I could get passionate and emotional. It doesn't mean I hate you. It just means like if I think something's bullshit, I go, it's fucking bullshit. And there's people out there who get crazy about it because they have a cult-like allegiance to whatever they think. Now, like I said, the black hole deal, never heard of it. Got to look it up. I don't know. I'll see about that. I just don't know, so I'm not going to sit here and go, you're fucking full of shit, lady. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, black hole deal, got it. But when somebody says, do you think the earth is flat? It's like, son of a bitch. Because you know what it makes me think, to be honest?
Bobby said it.
I'm going to get another beer. Fuck this.
I know. But you know what it makes me think?
You're the one who brought it up.
Cookies.
You know why it's frustrating to me, to be honest? Because when it comes to like even left and right or, you know, religions or political shit, it's like there's people who just, even if you have like 95% common ground with somebody, there's still that 5% you'll fucking argue over. And to me, it's like when somebody goes, we can't even agree what shape the earth is. I go, we're not even there yet. We're not over that. We can't just go, okay, we all know that this is a thing. Like if I say the sky is blue, like literally, we can't even all agree on that anymore. Like, and it's like, okay, so we are so far away from talking about should critical race theory be taught in a school because we can't even agree on the shape of the fucking planet. We can't even agree if there is a moon. What?
In my opinion, that's kind of like.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said it's by design. It's another paradigm of arguing if the globe is round or if it's a globe or if it's flat. It's another here or there. It's another right versus left. Another black versus white.
Yeah, but
and that's
I don't understand of all the losing arguments. I don't understand.
She's saying antitheses.
Right, but I don't understand of all the losing arguments why. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I feel like it discredits more of stuff, whatever right, left, whatever argument you might have. You know, the second you go, and by the way, I don't think dinosaurs were real. It's like, oh, son of a. Like,
well, I don't think they were real the way that they told us.
Well, I think that we're still learning about things. So here's the thing. I think like, for example, they recently did find, if I'm not mistaken, that the T-Rex very likely had feathers. which is
The
like
large
not how.
chicken. The large chicken.
Right. It literally might have been a large fucking chicken, and it might not have even been a hunter. It might have been something that just like foraged for shit that was already dead or something like that. And it's like, okay. The fact is, we don't fucking know. What the fuck is that?
That's the dragon.
Ah, the dragon. No, the fact is,
Yeah,
but by the way,
hold on. Where
there's
did they
nothing I
find
want.
that? And did they already substantiate it? Because they also found a fucking mermaid that was a monkey sewn into a fish.
That's
So,
the thing.
you know, like there's so much bullshit out there because everybody's like, oh, guess what? Yeah, the Bigfoot's real. And he's interdimensional, by the way. That's why you can't ever find him whenever you're looking for him.
Because when
there's just so much bullshit. Look,
Skunk
Bigfoot
Gate,
is the
Skunk
lie,
Gate, please.
But Bigfoot may be alive, but Nessie is real. I 100% believe that. And ghosts
when people
and alien.
can't prove things, but are married to an idea, they go further and further down this, like the strings that connect each other hole, where they go, well, can we prove there's a Bigfoot? No. Why not? Why haven't we found a carcass or feces or anything? It's like interdimensional Bigfoot. And it's like, oh, son of a fucking whore. Like, really? We're going to go to interdimensional Bigfoot? He's a space fucking thing now. He's Chewbacca. Like, and here's the thing. This is what you got to know about me. There's nothing I want more on Earth than a Bigfoot. There's nothing. Nothing.
I want to prove.
There's nothing I want than a Bigfoot in a cage in Times Square going, and us going, holy shit, there it is. Like, I want to see it. I want to see one myself. Aliens is the same thing. And once again, on Radio Deadly, we were going through all this shit about people being abducted by aliens. And Arturo kept saying, but why would people make that up? Why would you make up that you were abducted? It's of no benefit to you. And I also pointed out to Arturo, and this is and here's the thing. I don't know you two guys. I know Bobby. But I know that most people, and I have faith that most people are fundamentally honest people. Like, it makes you uncomfortable to lie outright to somebody. And I said, some people are fucking liars. And we've all met them, right? Like, you've met a sociopath before where you're like, that motherfucker, swear to God, looked me right in the eye, and it turns out, skunk it, and it turns out that motherfucker is full of shit. And I told Michael and Arturo a story to illustrate my point, where I said, one day I was sleeping and it was like 4 a.m. I had to take a piss, and I got up and there was an old lady in my fucking fridge, like taking shit out of the fridge. Right. And I went like, hey, what the fuck? And this is my place in Elizabeth. And this fucking old lady looked up at me like a fucking animal, ran through the wall, and fucking, like, I had a window, and I ran to the window and looked out, and there was fucking nothing there.
Dude,
and I said,
I've seen this. This is where they live in a secret location in your house, like up in some. Right. Oh my God, you had that happen to you?
So let me tell you something. I said, well, how do you fucking explain that? Does anyone else have an explanation for how that could have happened?
No, that's a real person who was living in like a.
Happened?
No, it was they disappeared through a fucking wall, and then they were gone. I looked out the window, they weren't there. How do you explain how that fucking shit happened?
Okay.
Oh, you saw a ghost. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so this is the way that I like to explain it, and something like that. And then, first of all, I'm going to say that my perception and the way that I look at the world is I don't look at anything as concrete, because I just don't know what I don't know. And I like to consider all possibilities. And I think that honestly, like, makes your consciousness and the way you look at life, like, open. Mm-hmm. And like my dog. So if I was cooking some soup and it had 20 ingredients in it, and you came over, you would smell the soup. But my dog would smell 20 different ingredients in the soup, because he has senses in his nose that humans don't have. So as we evolve and change and develop senses that we never had before, it is possible to perceive things that have always been around us that we're just not able to see yet.
So maybe that's an explanation.
Well, my idea of, like, aliens, for example, like, I do think that aliens, and I don't even know necessarily what that means, is just different species, and even maybe, like, they're not even on the same frequency as us. Like, I don't think these things are like too outlandish or weird. I mean, dogs can hear different frequencies than us.
Right.
Like, that's a fact.
No, that's a good point. Maybe there's something working in our world on a different frequency that for whatever reason in that moment, for those few seconds, I was tuned into. Bobby said, hey, fuck it, it could be a ghost. Tucker, do you have any
What happened to you, Bobby? You said something like that happened to you.
No, I actually had a ghost situation, but why is Tucker sitting there looking down all depressed? Like,
he doesn't like flat earth conversation.
Do you need to leave? Do you need to go? Is it too late for you?
No,
Are we past
I
your
don't.
bedtime, Tucker?
No, look, what happened was he said something about he could argue cookies, and I had to order some Samoas. I did. You can get them on Amazon. 4 boxes for $33. It's a per ounce. It's $1.10, and that was the best deal that I could get.
Samoas
And
are pretty righteous.
I went ahead and ordered 4 boxes because per weight.
Why not?
Like that, I'm definitely going to eat them. So I had to get I had to get 4 boxes of Samoas.
Nice.
And even though I like Thin Mints, I thought I liked Thin Mints more.
Thin Mints in the
having
fridge.
a Samoa as an adult, I was like, holy shit.
I like
it's
both,
better.
though. I
It
like to
is
go
better.
back and forth.
Oh, I
like
don't
the
want to
peanut butter
discriminate. I don't want to be like, never again will I eat this cookie because it's not as good as this cookie. It's not, it's not like I prefer a oatmeal raisin over a chocolate chip. That doesn't mean that like I will never eat a chocolate chip. It just
Oatmeal
means that
raisins
if I
go
pick
fucking
up a
stuff,
chocolate
right?
chip
Wait,
going,
did you just say
this
you
is an
prefer an oatmeal raisin?
Yes, I know. I'm the
that's
opposite
a
of
terrible
else,
cookie.
but like if I pick up like a chocolate chip thinking it's an oatmeal raisin
Okay.
and take a bite
Fuck
into it,
fuck the
I'm
round
disappointed,
versus flat.
but I'm
Fuck
still
the round
gonna
versus
enjoy
flat.
it.
I have a
Oh
new,
yeah, I'll eat
a
it,
new-
but I'll be mad the whole time.
I'll be mad. I'll
Like-
be like, God damn it!
Dude, I hate
An
that
oatmeal
too.
raisin. I thought it was healthier and not as sugary. It hurts my teeth, but I'm still gonna eat it.
Tucker, that is
You
a
like it
beautiful observation, man. That happened to me so many times, dude. I fucking so disappointed every time that happens. That's hilarious. You stupid bastard. You stupid
You're
brilliant
ugly.
bastard.
Yeah, well, you're ugly and still kind of handsome. If you didn't have so many tattoos, I probably
I never met somebody who was
Would
kind of
be
hot,
envious.
kind of ugly. That's you, Bobby. You hit that sweet
That's
spot.
great, man. That's a great perception as well. Fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Now, but here's the deal. Like, you guys came up with at least 2 explanations for what I could have seen that day. But the fact is, none of you know what I actually saw, and I'll shed some light on it for you.
was bullshit,
I lied and made that fucking story up just there.
I knew that was what he was
so
going
it
to
never
say.
happened.
I knew
So it never happened, but just as easily speaking, one could make some shit up because we're all human and capable of this sociopathy, but we don't practice it because most of us, I like to think, are good
cunts.
people.
Yeah.
Is everyone fucking gone again? So, but that's my point, is like, sometimes
Most of
people
us
just
aren't
make
well.
up bullshit.
They do, and I'm on the same wavelength as you. The Earth is round. Everybody else is a fucking retard.
Oh, you waited for them to leave to say it. Here she
No, I
comes.
was trying to say it earlier, but they just wouldn't listen.
I was trying to say it earlier.
I was.
so
it just
what you're
wouldn't
saying-
didn't go through.
You
But
made up
the-
the story.
What happened?
You made up the story.
Yeah, that was a whole lie I just made up right then and
You're
there.
sicko, first of all.
Yeah, no, well, but because here's the thing. This is the emotions. This is the emotional roller
No,
coaster.
I
just
get what
took
you're
you
saying,
on.
but did by the way, does anyone remember the whole spiel that he gave about liars right before he lied?
Yeah, that was why he did it.
Yeah.
He goes, I can't stand liars. And most people don't lie, but I saw a fucking ghost
Okay,
in my
I get it now.
house.
See, I wasn't
My
Yes,
point
it
is,
was.
and I wouldn't.
That's
and
what I
here's
was
the
saying. I
thing.
knew he was making
I'm not
it up.
a
and so you just-
sociopath.
Okay.
So
See, I wasn't
I
listening
wouldn't.
to the end. But
I'm
but
not a
listen to this.
sociopath, so I wouldn't drag that out. I wouldn't let you go on into the world
I
believing.
wouldn't care either way because I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
When
You're a liar,
I
too.
first started
Oh.
researching the satanic ritual abuse specifically,
Whoa.
Right.
which is a thing. We all know that's
I
a
know.
thing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So when I started getting into that rabbit hole, I was like obsessed, for like 3 days or whatever, reading story, hearing every interview, like, sick, deep, dark shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that night, and I'm not lying, I'm not lying to you, but I was laying in bed.
Says you.
And I've never seen a ghost. I've never like experienced anything really paranormal or anything like that besides this story. And I was laying in my bed and I was being surrounded literally and being
shadow people.
Yeah, but isn't it called like night terror?
You were did you
Terror, yeah.
did you
Sleep
have
paralysis.
sleep paralysis?
Yeah, sleep paralysis. So I was there and they were surrounded my bed, and sleep paralysis is a normal excuse for it kind of thing. But like that actually happened, and that's never happened to me before, and it just so happened to happen right when I was researching like
Lala, that happened while you were researching it?
it happened like right after I was like
Well,
Because that's
that
some
means
scary ass shit. That's never
devil.
happened to me. I always thought that might happen at some point, and I pray to God
scary.
that does not happen to me. Wait, that happened
Yeah,
to you before?
No, but it's like I know about it, and I know people who've been through it, and it really sounds like the most terrifying.
But maybe Lala is making all this shit up too.
No, I'm
Just
not.
like
So
you
like
are.
I was laying
well,
there.
I trust that you're not, but that's the
No.
thing. If
And I don't,
later on
like-
down the line we all find out you're a crazy
Well,
sociopath,
I'm not, but this is what
I
happened.
agree
was
that you're
laying
not.
there. They were literally like, okay, so I sleep whatever on my side or whatever, and I was like, I remember just
What are
waking
you
up, and I
wearing?
don't even remember necessarily if like my eyes were open or not, right?
Mhm.
But I couldn't move, and like it was the longest night of sleep ever, and the whole entire time, like they were there holding me down.
Paul was right though. What were you wearing at the time?
What were you wearing when you were going through this? The audience wants to know. It's not for me.
Exactly.
Never me.
To tell the story adequately, you have to really get into those details. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm trying to picture
You
it.
invite it on
no,
yourself.
but
What you were
do
wearing.
like my point that I'm trying to make is I've dealt with a lot of fucking people in my life. Matter of fact, I was calling myself the fucking sociopath magnet for a minute because people who literally just are in some other world where it's almost like they rather scam you for no
Fuck the
reason.
liars
than
and
just tell
sociopaths.
you.
That's boring. What? do you think
and
about-
fuck Paul's dating life.
But
What do I
you
think about it?
This, what do you think about like sleep paralysis in general? Like, what is your explanation for that? And don't you think that there's a connection between like what I was like researching and reading about as it happened, and it's never happened before or again?
I
I think that you were wearing
ascribe to the,
something too sexy.
I ascribe to the idea.
The shadow men
this-
couldn't take it.
The shadow men couldn't take you.
And they had to hold you down.
You define Shadow Man however you want. But
I ascribe to the idea with most things in life that the simplest answer is usually the best. And you were doing something creepy.
This is
granted,
Gavin McInnes.
and you've never.
So
That's not Gavin McInnes,
boring.
by the way. But he also is a very rational person.
it's
and
Gavin McChinless, by the way.
McKinless. No, but I'm saying that I believe that I don't know why that
Good
would have
job,
happened on
Tucker.
that night, and I think it's very likely that it could just be a coincidence where you went through something that's a lot of other people go through regularly, but it just happened to happen on a creepy fucking night.
No, it happened specifically after I was looking into very dark and evil energies and shit. Like, do you
Sure.
consider the world? Do you think like you're an energetic being?
What is going on in your background?
Sure.
Like, what do
why
you
not?
think about?
What?
What do you think about?
No, Lala, like
What do I
talking
think
about
about what?
energies and all that stuff. Look at you. You looks like a very spiritual layout that you live
this
in. What is that?
literally- This is like a piece of art that has just a porthole and like wine glasses.
Oh, okay. It looks like some kind of altar or something. I don't know.
Well, I would.
No,
my answer to that
my
of like
dog
what
biscuits and water.
Okay.
my answer to that of like what would I think of it and this and that and because you happen to be researching this stuff on that night is I would say okay, well yeah, that's weird for sure. But
do you believe in
how
good
many-
or bad, negative, or do you believe in positive or negative like energies? Do you believe like
I mean
that you're an energetic being?
You
believe
have to
in
define energy.
you believe in that acupuncture works or helps? How about that?
The energy in E equals MC squared.
I think that acupuncture is something that like is mostly psychosomatic, to be honest with you.
Okay, so I had acupuncture twice when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And the first time, immediately my belly dropped. The second time, I went into labor within 24 hours and I didn't have pain for like 8 hours because it was all meant to like prepare your body for it naturally with your energies. So like, so like this conversation is only going to get so far because if you like can't even agree that like you're an energetic being, it's like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's not even like I can't like.
Listen, you're not going to get that far with Paul. Paul's not that deep. Like that's why we move on to another person.
Here's the thing:
talk to another person.
I'm not that deep, you bearded motherfucker.
Anyway,
it's the fact that it's a matter of asking me, like, well, do you believe this? And my anytime somebody asks me what I believe, I always think to myself, it doesn't matter what I believe. All that matters is what works and what doesn't work. And if it worked for you, great. But does that mean that I would recommend it to people?
Anything working? No one's talking about anything.
You did. You said that it helped your pain.
No. This was one example of being an energetic being. I'm asking you, do you think or believe? I mean, this goes back to what I'm saying about trusting your intuition. You're not always going to have a scientific fact to back up your claims. Like that's like literally the most boring way to live.
Yeah, he's like a retard, you know.
I mean,
he's a liberal retard. He needs to go Google it and stuff.
Google things.
Google.
Well, here's the thing. It's like when I played hockey, I always put my left skate on first because I just thought that if I put my right skate on first, I'd have a bad game. But that's mostly, to me, it's like, I know it's illogical. I know that maybe I wouldn't have a bad game. I know that there's just some bullshit in my head that I say, well, I have to put the left skate on first, no matter what. I don't know what that, like, so when you keep saying energetic
OCD.
being, and you know what? That's probably way closer to the fucking truth if you know me.
That's all it is.
I have a weird OCD tick. But it's not even about like science or logic or, you know, versus energies and spirits and, you know, whatever. Like I couldn't with authority go, yes, I'm an energetic being, because what you're calling energy might be different than what I call energy. So if you say, do you have and presume? Yes, I know about energy. For example, if we were all sitting here, dressed in suits, like we're going to a cocktail party, the energy.
I see what you're getting at, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, then that's the thing. It's something else that we're talking about, which I may or may not know about. And
so maybe you shouldn't have such concrete ideas on things that you don't know about. Is my point.
Well, I don't know what that even means, because I'm telling you I don't know, and I don't know doesn't mean fuck you. It means I don't know. And
I'm not saying fuck you either.
No, I'm not. I'm just, when you're like, you have these concrete ideas, it's like, you seem to be putting a lot on me right now. What I'm saying is, I don't know. And if you can't prove it other than just saying the word energy 50 times in a fucking row, then that's not going to convince me.
I am not here to prove anything to anyone. And again, it goes back to what your intuition tells you.
Well, no, you were saying do you believe this? And I said, it doesn't matter what I believe. It doesn't matter if I believe in antibiotics. If I take them and they work, they work.
Well, actually, I mean, okay. I can't even, because now we're talking about antibiotics.
I got her to the point where she just can't even. I love that.
No, because I'm going to talk about like hygiene, for example. Like anytime that you wash your hands, like you shouldn't wash your hands every fucking time, because that destroys your natural environment of your body.
No, I know that.
So, like, that's what I'm saying. Is like, you're just like, I'll just take antibiotics because the doctor says it. It's like, well, who told the doctor that? This is what I'm getting at. Is you're proving my point more and more the more that you talk, and then as you prove my point more,
I'm not trying to
disprove your point. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
I'm just telling you about the way I think.
I know. But as I'm telling you the way that I think, you are getting it less and less, because as you're talking and you keep relying on facts and facts, what I'm telling you is that I don't rely on facts, even if an expert tells me that. And so, like, I do rely on my beliefs.
I agree with that 100%. That's what I do.
Well, I don't rely on my beliefs whatsoever, because once again, my beliefs don't matter. If I believe I'm going to hit the lottery, doesn't mean I'm going to hit it.
That's actually untrue, because if you believe it, you are literally you are literally using quantum entanglement to affect the entire universe and everything that you do. So what you do believe actually matters a lot.
Lala, what you use is your intuition. Engine intuition.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, yeah, and there's definitely
Do you mean
senses that we
Indian as
have
in,
that,
like, he's
that
Native
we don't-
American?
Yeah, they were like listening to the
Like
ground
engine?
and shit like that. They knew like if a fucking hurricane was coming.
buffalo hooves were coming, whatever.
Yeah.
No, but you know, it's like, and if that works for you and you think that's cool. But when you're like, how do you know? Because a scientist or a doctor told you antibiotics work. It has nothing to do with washing my hands. I'm talking about like situations I've been in where I've had staph infections. They gave me antibiotics, and almost instantly I felt better. And I mean, like,
that there's other alternatives to that, like natural healing.
Y'all want to like change the
well,
subject,
I
talk
didn't
about
sleep
stuff
for
that's
48
fucking
hours.
real?
Yeah. I do.
Hold on,
Because
I didn't
let's
sleep.
talk about
At
it.
Well,
the time, I had
hold on, wait,
48 hours, and
wait.
I was screaming in pain.
We have
So I didn't have
completely
time to
different
rub
point of views.
herbs on my fucking foot.
All right, before we turn this over to Tucker, and then we start winding down because we're hitting. Somebody said something about Joe Rogan, man. We're hitting Joe Rogan fucking timeline right now. We're gonna hit the
You were
3 hour
really
mark.
high. That was 2 hours ago, motherfucker.
We're gonna hit the 3 hour mark in 20 minutes. But anyway,
Somebody mentioned Rogan's name.
yeah, that was that long ago. Yeah,
Yeah, I said that way earlier.
yeah. Wait.
You're like, hold on. Who mentioned Rogan just now? It's like, bro, you're time traveling.
But you guys, let's just get
You're on
fuck.
steak tips and weed.
I'm sorry, I totally forgot. Let's just go to Tucker's fucking point. Damn it.
Tucker, comment.
Have y'all ever watched that show? Oh shit, I can't remember. It's got Ozzy Osbourne and his son and his wife, and he starts showing them all these videos of like weird stuff, like alien stuff and like weird animals that nobody's ever seen before. And Ozzy's just like, yeah, it's bullshit.
Oh,
Y'all ever
Bonanza.
seen that?
Yeah, it's called Bonanza, and it was a great show back in the day.
It's not Bonanza.
I love Bonanza.
It's
great.
not. It's something on TV right now, and a lot of the stuff on there, that's fucking real. But Ozzy's like, "Oh, it's bullshit," and then Sharon's like, "Well, I don't know. I think it might be real," and he's like, "No, it's bullshit." That's my favorite show on television right now, and they have stuff. There is this like, I don't know what it is. It's like a giant water snake that they found in like the Arctic, like circle. Some dude's driving over like over a bridge, and he's like, "What in the hell is that?" And he takes a video of this thing like just slowly like slithering around. And Ozzy, like, you see it up close. It's not like a far off grainy picture. It's like 10 feet away, and Ozzy's still like, "It's bullshit."
Well, it might be.
Might be.
And so, Paul, do you know Ozzy Osbourne personally?
That's actually a very good question. No.
I actually agree with you a lot. I agree with you a lot.
I know Bill Ward personally. I don't know
Ozzy.
Bill Ward was in my movie, and he's an awesome guy. But I never got to the pleasure of meeting Ozzy, and I really hope I do because he seems like the coolest fucking guy in the world.
He seems like he's probably like all right. Like, I wouldn't say he's like a cool guy or a good
Guarantee
guy.
he's
I'd be
the
like,
man.
He peed in the Alamo and then bit a pigeon's head off. He's awesome.
In the same weekend.
If I was to rate him,
The same
I'd
weekend,
give
my
him,
friend.
like,
No, snorted a line of ants. That guy parties. He has stories. I want to
Ozzy
fucking
gets
chill
a
with him.
6 out of 10. I feel like he's not a Christian, so I don't like him that much. 6
Really?
out of 10.
Actually,
That's
he is
what I
a
give him.
Christian.
6 out of 10.
He
Now,
prays all the time and talks about God all the time. He's a Christian.
Pastor Anderson, 10 out of 10 guy. Have y'all ever seen that guy? He does a video where, well, he does a lot of them, but he is not super pro homosexuality. And y'all never seen him before?
All right, I'm going to do it right now. Watch. What? Wait.
I sent it to you in Telegram.
No homos will ever be allowed on this church as long as I'm the pastor here.
Come on.
Never! Those hateful words are from the
slow.
mouth of a Tempe pastor preaching that God's word says that killing gay
I
people
sent
is
you one
the
on
only
Telegram.
way to
Look at
get
that
rid
one.
of AIDS by Christmas. He says all gays are pedophiles. He says the biggest hypocrite in the world is the person who believes in the death penalty for murderers, but not for homosexuals. Pastor Steven Anderson has agreed to join us tonight for an exclusive one-on-one interview. Pastor Anderson, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me on.
Have you always hated gay people? Is
He
it something
sounds
your
gay.
father taught you,
This guy's
or
on
is
4
it
cups
something
of
that
coffee.
you came to on your
Sounds
own?
gay.
No, I haven't always. You know, I grew up in a Christian home, but it wasn't until I read the Bible cover to cover at age 17 that I discovered the truth of what the Bible really says, because a lot of passages don't ever get preached from the pulpit because they're simply not popular.
I have to be honest, when I heard your sermon, it sounded like the rantings of someone who was either a hate monger or a religious zealot, and I'm wondering, which are you?
Well, I'm a religious zealot, and you know, I love the Bible. I love God's word. I believe that the law of the Lord is perfect. And you know, Leviticus 20:13 clearly says, if a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with the woman, both of them have committed an abomination, they shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon them. And you know, as a Christian, I believe the Bible, and that's where I get my belief.
Doesn't the Ten Commandment, isn't the first commandment, thou shalt not kill?
No, the first commandment is thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Okay.
But of course,
is thou shalt not kill one of the commandments?
yes, it is.
Oh, this
But
poor
what you have to understand is that the Bible commands that certain people be put to death, not by me, not by Christians. It's obviously not my job or the job of any Christian to go out and kill anybody,
Why
and I've
not?
never taught anything like that. But rather that the government's job is to punish criminals and to execute those who've committed capital crimes. And according to the Bible, homosexuality is a capital crime, and I didn't write the Bible.
What if, irony of ironies, it turned out that you had a gay son or a gay daughter? Would you want them dead as a way to cure AIDS?
Well, that's just a fallacy that it just turns out that certain people are gay. That's just a lie, because it's not random. It's not something that's just going to accidentally happen to one of my children.
Wait, how do you think it happens then?
Well, the Bible's real clear how it happens. In Romans chapter 1, it talks about how God gives people over to a reprobate mind to do these filthy acts. So it has to do with them rejecting the Lord and rejecting Jesus Christ.
And
you know,
I'll ask again, Pastor, and I'm not trying to be argumentative, but I want to understand that you're a man of your word. If you had a gay son or a gay daughter, what would you do?
well, it's not going to happen. If I did, I would have nothing to do with them. That's like saying, well, what if your daughter, you know, grew up to be an axe murderer? What if your son grew up to be like Adolf Hitler? You know, what would you do then? I mean, it's just a silly question.
Well, as long as you bring up Adolf Hitler, he wanted to exterminate Jews and anyone who wasn't blonde hair and blue-eyed, who didn't fit into his vision of
Gotta
the way
crowbar this
people should
question
be.
in there.
Isn't that,
Leave
in a way,
Hitler
what
out
you're
of
preaching,
this.
that you want to get rid of anyone who isn't heterosexual?
Absolutely not. I'm preaching the Bible, something that Adolf Hitler rejected. He taught evolution, which is why he wanted to execute what he considered to be inferior races.
But
I don't believe
you
in
would like to
races.
see anyone who's not heterosexual die, correct?
Well, the Bible says that
I'm asking what you believe.
I believe the Bible. I believe what the Bible says. And if I didn't, then I wouldn't be a Baptist. I wouldn't be a Christian
You know,
if I didn't believe
it
the Bible.
sounds like, because you won't answer what you believe, that you're
I did answer what I believe.
I believe hiding behind the Bible.
Hold on a second. I believe what the Bible says, that homosexuals should be executed. Let me make myself clear. I believe that, and I've never gone back on that for 1 second. So every Christian believes the Bible, or else they're not even really a
if you
Christian.
believe that,
I would love if you
anyone
name
who is not
dropped Bobby Pickle right now and
heterosexual
just went,
should
"And
die,
so
correct?
does Bobby Pickle."
Absolutely, of course. That's what the Bible says.
You hate gay people.
Yes.
I'm Jewish. How do you feel about Jews?
Oh, I don't hate Jews. I mean, that's just a straw
really
man to try to
wants
compare
him
me
to
to
hate
Hitler.
Jews.
I don't hate Jews whatsoever.
Blacks? You hate black people? Because
Doesn't he?
Of course not. My church
you
is
said
filled
you
with black
prayed-
people.
Did you say, Pastor, that you prayed for the death of Barack Obama?
Fond of him
Oh,
right now.
so now Obama and
I
the
think
race
that
card
Jew is
comes
an
out. My
annoying
church is filled
motherfucker.
with black people. My church is filled with all races. In
Yeah,
fact, the
this
Bible says
interviewer
we're all of
sucked.
one
Am I
blood.
misquoting you? Or did you say that you pray for the death of Barack Obama?
Well, yes, I did, but Obama's white. Obama's not black anyway. He's half white and half black, so just as well as you can call him black, I'll call him white. He's a white
All
man.
Kenyan.
That's true.
Some would say that just as the Taliban and the ISIS fighters have perverted Islam and made it violent to fit their vision of the world, that's what you're doing, is you're perverting Christianity to fit your vision of the world.
Well, let the viewer read for themselves. Let them pull the Bible off their shelf and look up Leviticus 20:13, and then let them be the judge. Intelligent people will listen to the entire sermon, aids the judgment of God, and will pull their Bible off their shelf and read Leviticus 20:13.
I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but did you say that if people perceive you as a hate monger or your church as a hate group, so be it?
Absolutely. I don't care how people perceive me. They called Jesus Beelzebub. They nailed him to the cross. And Jesus said that they hated him because he testified of their works, that their works were evil. That's what I'm doing. That's why they hate me.
Interesting.
So that's not the video I wanted you to see.
But hey, whatever,
Is
man.
there-
Did we get an idea of this guy?
Kinda, yeah. He has one.
Kinda? You really want me to play that other thing? I will.
It's
Hold on.
just funny.
Hold on
It's
one
just-
second.
I thought it was pretty funny.
1 second, brother. Let me find it. Where? Oh, shit. How do I play this?
I don't have any advice for homosexuals except to put a bullet in your own head so that you don't molest my kids or anyone else's kids.
What? Let's play that again?
I don't have any advice for homosexuals except to put a bullet in your own head so that you don't molest my kids or anyone else's kids.
Interesting. Okay, great. Nice. I should have that as a soundbite. Thank you, Tucker.
Yeah, you should.
My theory
trying to
is-
improve your show here.
Thank you, Tucker.
My theory is anyone who thinks about gays this much is secretly terrified that cock tastes yummy.
Yeah, where did you heard that somewhere? I heard that somewhere.
Joe Rogan. I stole it from Rogan.
Yeah. Joe
I'm not
Rogan
a
again.
Christian. I'm not a Christian, so like I can look at this very object. I love decoding.
Wait, what are you? Are you like? Do you pray to engine being? Do you pray? Do you pray to the sun?
You pray to engine being? I love that guy.
Do you pray to the sun and the wind and the moon?
No.
Engine being is my
Technically, I mean, they do say that Jesus is like the son, like the actual son, not necessarily the son of God.
That's what pagans say. Pagans are kind of gay. Anyway.
I'm not pagan. I am
a pagan.
I am who I am. I believe in our Creator. I think that the Bible is manipulated by man, and I think that there is a huge agenda behind controlling people. Like this King James version that I have in my hand was written in 1600s. Constantine rewrote the Bible with his own personal agenda, 300 AD.
He didn't rewrite it. He compiled it. He didn't rewrite it. There was no Bible before.
I gotta pee again.
He took all of the books and put them together with a whole council of Christians.
Yeah, and it was completely 100% legit, right? So if you read, right, it is completely legit. Anyways,
it is. He compiled it with all pastors,
except for the books that he left out, and except for the books that were added later.
There weren't. Which ones were left? There were no books that were added later.
No, the Gospel of Judas, the Gospel of
the Book of Revelation was added later.
Was all left out.
The Book of Revelation was added later.
The Book of Revelation is one of the last additions to the Bible. It's true.
Yeah, it was added later.
Okay,
and the book
one
of Enoch
book.
was,
You're going to try to say that. You
literally are just
all of the apocrypha or the deuterocanonical books. Those were taken out later. Those were not added.
Okay, you can get mad all you want. All I'm saying is that I am not religious, so I can look this very objectively.
Mad at you.
And
You're wonderful. No one's mad at you.
Basically, what he's talking about, Leviticus 20:13, it says exactly what he's saying. So is that what you believe too? Because if you believe in the Bible, why don't you?
You're not allowed at my cob house. You're not allowed to live in my.
She does want to be in the cob house.
I'm not religious, but I actually have very specific beliefs about like Christianity and religion in general. This is my first rabbit hole, so. But it says right here, if a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death, and their blood shall be upon them. So do you think that all gay people should be executed? Because technically, if you are... then you're not living by the Bible, which is what this man is literally saying. So like, as a religious person, you should be living by the Bible.
Tucker doesn't think that gay people should be executed. He does want them all punched in the face once a week.
Well, according to the Bible, they should be.
Once a week.
They have to line up.
And the book of Revelation, actually, because I just read it the other day, was specifically talking about like killing children. and things of
You're
this nature.
reading it. You're reading it to try to prove points, like by cherry
No.
picking.
That's completely not true. No. Why do you read it? Why do you read it? Because I don't read it to prove a point. I read it because I want to know the truth about our existence, just like you. I don't let preachers.
Well, do you also read anything else? Do you also read and pick apart all of the the Quran or the Hadith?
I do.
Yes. Okay, then why don't you go ahead and read and pick apart some of that right now? Do you have it right there? Like you have the King James?
I read about all religions. I literally read about all religions, every single one of them.
I mean, you have the King James right there. Do you have the other ones right
because
there?
I've had this. No, because I grew up in America, which Christianity is the number one religion, as you know. So no, I don't have a Quran.
And they all should be Christian.
But did you also know that there's a lot of
here's the thing about that Leviticus passage, though. Here's the thing about that that we should all be Christian?
Yes. I think it's better for society to be a Christian society as opposed to any other religion out there. Yes. 100%.
Here's the thing about that Leviticus passage.
I disagree with that. I just don't think there should be organized religion in general.
Well, I think there should be whatever people fucking want. If you want to be a Christian,
I don't
think
have
that's
any
great.
advice for homosexuals except to put a bullet in your own head so that you don't molest my kids or anyone else's kids.
You know,
that's your Christian.
That should be a drop on your show. You should just play that during all awkward silence. Here's the thing about that thing in Leviticus, which I actually do know very well, being that I'm a former CCD teacher.
Oh my God.
Yeah. If you keep reading in Leviticus, not too long before or after that particular passage, it also says that if you have tattoos, you're going to hell. Anyone who puts a needle on their skin, has this thing. It also says, if a man has long hair, there's a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, anyone.
Okay. Hold on one second.
Why do you get to pick and choose which part of the Bible you believe?
Well, that's my point.
Not you.
No, but when people dwell on the gay thing, and that's one of two passages in the whole fucking Bible that even alludes to homosexuality. When people dwell on that too much, it's why don't you dwell on the part about mixed fabrics? I never understood that.
Oh my God, Paul. Fucking what the fuck? Do not come here with rational, logical thought and try to fuck us up. If you do that, I'm gonna kill you.
Listen,
what is your
the Bible
perception?
No, I can't believe. Hold on.
By the way, Leviticus is the Old Testament. Everything it's not like God laid out.
He taught CDC. What?
God didn't write the Bible. This is made by man.
It's not. It is divinely inspired. God didn't lay out all facts, all of the rules.
I'm divinely inspired.
Beginning of man, going from dragging his knuckles
I am
on the
divinely
ground.
inspired.
Here are all the rules. He goes, hey, let's start with some of the basics.
I'm not.
Don't fucking kill each other. Don't fucking sleep with your brother's wife. Don't he gives some basic stuff and then improves on it later. It's not it's just here's everything right now. It's just like whenever you raise your child, you don't go,
story.
hey kid, don't fucking lie on your taxes. And he's like, goo goo gaga. You go, hey, don't fucking play in the street. And then we'll get to the don't lie on your taxes later.
Your fucking kids, they're not even going to know what taxes are.
Exactly, that's my point. True. I'm saying that he took that religion brought man from dragging his knuckles on the fucking ground and slinging shit at each other to we live in a civilized society. That's
and you're going to be you're bringing that back. You're bringing that back to that. Yes, like Lala said.
I want us to sling shit again. Yes, I want us to go back.
Organized religion is
way better than this conversation right now.
Well, here's the thing, my love.
I want to question the Bible.
I went to Catholic school my entire life. No priest raped me. I had actually a good experience. I have all my friends from Catholic school, lifetime friends. I went to St. Pete Catholic. That's actually where I graduated from or whatever. And because you're from St. Pete. So, but I would say that I had a good experience. I was an altar boy and I was not raped. That's fucking great.
I was there with you, and I was a cute fucking kid too. But here's the thing that we have to look at, though. it's not about like whether or not one of us or all of us or none of us think that organized religion in general is a bad thing. That's a bigger conversation. If we're talking about the Bible in particular, you have to talk about it in the same way we're talking about how like leftists don't look at things from our perspective. You have to look at it from the perspective of the person you're talking with, whether or not you agree with them. And if you are talking to a Christian and about the Bible and its validity specifically, it's one of two. It can only be one of two things. Either it was something that was divinely inspired by man, that was written by people, and it's sort of a time capsule in its own thing. And, you know, hey, the stuff in the Old Testament, maybe we shouldn't listen to all that because it was written by people from 2,000 years ago for their time. Or it is the Word of God. And the Word of God, from what I know from Christianity, is absolute. So if it is the Word of God, then we should dwell on mixed fabrics as much as we dwell on homosexuality. And if it was written by man and it's something of the time, then it doesn't fucking matter. Like, and
you have a point. You do have a point.
Yeah,
I love
come
the
up with a lot of those, Bobby.
I think the Bible is one of the most influential pieces, like of literature that exists. Like this,
it is the mode. Yeah.
This is it's so multi-layered, and I wish that people would give it almost more credit, because even people who read the Bible and think that it's like the end all be all do not give it the credit that it deserves, because it is multi-layered. It has multiple meanings. It's not black and white. And everyone always assumes that my perspective is wrong because it goes against what their perspective of the Bible is. When I find it just as valuable as you do, I just have a different perspective on it. So who's to say who is right?
My perspective on it, and a girl, actually Martina Markota, made a really good point to me where she was like, well, listen, whether you believe in it or not, and I don't, but whether you believe in it or not, you know, it's something that was written 2,000 to 2,000 plus years ago that has some validity because it's something that we've passed down to one another, and it's this ancient thing, really. And I went, you know what? You're right about that. Like, no doubt that anything else that was written 2,000 years ago or 2,500 years ago or whatever, I would be super interested in. So you should also be super interested in the Bible as a historical, what were people saying about each other and how were they looking at the world thing. Then again, I also was, when I went to college, one of my minors was the Middle Ages. And I was super curious because it's really hard to put your brain in the place of someone from 2,000 years ago. And I always found that, I try. Like, I seriously, when I'm daydreaming, I'm like, what the fuck was it like living in Greece 2,500 years ago? That would be mind blowing,
dude. I love it. I love it how an Italian thinks that, though. That's what they think. How is it living in Greece across the pond? What the fuck?
Well,
what a stupid idiot.
They invaded. This is before
there was a lot of oil and it stank.
It was exactly how
that's exactly what it looked like in Greece.
And if any of those people gave you any advice on anything else, you would probably go, okay, shut the fuck up, dude. But here, and there's also other components and political things that are in the Bible that do very much represent the time period it came from, which I find fascinating because we don't know anything about it, which is always the thing. I'm like, what was that like? There were great houses like the Flavians and the Julio Claudian Empire and shit like that, where it's like, you don't even know about these people. If you want to talk about the Rockefellers and shit, it's like the Julio Claudians and the Flavians and the Heralds were like the biggest fucking thing in the world.
Didn't the Rockefellers come from the Flavians?
Could have. I don't know exactly.
Oh. Have you guys have heard of, like comparing like the Jezebel spirit to like Hillary Clinton and all of that?
The what now?
Like the Jezebel spirit in the Bible.
I've heard of that before. I don't really know what the Jezebel spirit is, but I've heard of it.
Okay, well, Jezebel was someone in the Bible, and she was like evil. And during the time, like she basically, so I don't remember the exact years or whatever, but if you compare them directly to each other, like Bill Clinton was her, the king, Ahab, I think was his name or whatever. And he ruled during the same exact amount of time. Jezebel, and like they have very parallel stories. So, and then Obama was like a different character in it. And then Trump was supposedly Jehu, which came after. And all of this aligned perfectly to the year. So like the amount of time that they reigned and all of that. So the reason why it's interesting too is because like Jezebel was the one who lifted up Baal and like children sacrifice worship and everything satanic essentially. And so when King Jehu came in, he was like not a politician. He just came in as a fighter and he ended up being like the ruler, just like Trump did. And so there's these parallels that exist that talk about like divine mathematics. Like I did a whole episode on this actually. So if you guys want to listen to it,
maybe I will.
She has a great podcast. Great podcast. I love it actually. She's awesome.
What's it called? Give it a plug.
Lala Beamz.
Lala Beamz.
It's the Lala Beamz podcast. Cool. I'll check.
Where did you get the beam? Is the beams like kind of like a word for podcasting, kind of like you're beaming it out or something?
No, when I created my account, like I said, it was purely to talk shit to liberals. I had no idea that I would have a podcast one day. I just literally was probably annoying everybody with my points of views and talking about all this all the time. So it eventually turned into a meme page, which I have great memes. So if you like memes, that's really what you should follow me for. And then I started my podcast. It's like a beam of light, and that's it.
Oh, it's beams, not beans. Like
beams.
Not because you're like part Mexican and part something else.
Yes.
She's not something else. She's Mexican.
Yeah, she's Mexican. Lala Beamz is perfect. Oh my God.
But you know, the thing
anyways,
is with
I don't even want to get into all that, but there's a whole episode that I did specifically talking about it, and it's actually really fucking cool because when Trump became president, the Temple of Baal literally fell down. It literally fell down, and it mirrored exactly what happened in the Bible. And
interesting.
So there's a lot of parallels that exist.
Do you remember watching that like book about the movie about Nostradamus back in the day? Paul, you're around my age, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know. Do you remember seeing that? Like it was like an HBO or something document or about Nostradamus. Do you ever watch that?
I've seen a lot of like little documentaries. I don't remember like a movie.
Are you talking about Dave Chappelle's skit?
No, there's a movie about Nostradamus from back in the 90s. I remember seeing it. And one of the things was like a very Trump-esque person it was showing in the film or whatever. But I
believe Nostradamus is basically poetry. But I don't take anything that dude said seriously.
He has no mysticism in his heart.
Probably
my
not.
kids won't read him.
But but here's the thing: if you just want to look at like that pastor that we just saw, Anderson,
he
objectively
had a earlier. That's why I wish you would look into him. He has
that homosexuals should put bullets in.
Yeah, no, not just that. He's like he starts talking about the Jews, and he says something about the Holocaust. He said, well, they're going to be burning in hell for all of eternity because they don't believe in Jesus Christ. That is the ovens they should be worried about.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was like, holy
he's right. No, just kidding.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Everybody hates homosexuality till your girl agrees to have a threesome, and then all of a sudden your mind gets way more open.
Yeah.
And you're like, and by the way, I've never met a straight woman, so how the fuck is that going to work? Are we just going to kill all the women?
They all do that.
All women have had at least one lesbian experience, and even when the ones who are like, I am totally straight.
I believe it as well. I believe it as well. I've seen it too many times.
I've had girls be like, I don't like girls. I'm 1,000,000% straight, blah, blah, blah. And I go, have you ever been with a girl or hooked up with a girl? And I swear, I've had girls look me in the face and go, well, I dated a girl for 1.5 years, but I don't see what that has to do with anything. I'm like, can I suck dicks for a year? 1.5 years isn't even like I had fun at a party and hooked up. 1.5 years is like you're walking through IKEA picking out a pink coffee maker going, no, not that one, the other one. Well, that's gayer than fucking sucking dick.
This is the whole Milo thing though, right, Paul? I mean, haven't you been watching that whole thing?
Yeah.
He's living
How
down
long
here.
Are you going to flog him for that? He cured himself of his gay.
No, he is not. He's going through evolution right now. I've been watching him, and he's, he comes off as very genuine to me, honestly. But he's living down here right in my neck of the woods, and he's traveling from, I think, Miami up to Vero Beach. So passing me every day, commuting to do this true news. Watch out.
You can't unsuck it.
But have you been tracking this and seeing his progress? I do you believe that he's not? Listen, you can't unsuck a dick like you said, like in a past episode.
But hold on, I do have a hot take. Oh, I shouldn't. This is the worst thing. This is the new thing that's going to be on the SPL.
See, here it comes, man. Here it comes. right at the end of every show, Paul says something outlandish.
Do you want me to tell you exactly what I told Milo?
Yes. Yes, I do.
This is bad. I said to him, I know what you're doing. And he went, what? I'm like, with the whole you're straight now thing, I know what you're doing. And he said, what am I doing? And I'm like, you're only saying you're straight so when your husband fucks you, you could say it's rape and you think the sex is even hotter. And he was like, he was like, that is hot. And I was like, but that's the thing. It's like,
but that's a joke thing, and that's the obvious joke.
No one's raping anyone. But here's the thing, though. Milo's a very complicated guy. And once you're exposed to him and you know him, you sort of know how he operates. And if there's one thing I could say about that motherfucker, he doesn't break character for shit. So, like, if he tells you, like, I'm an alien from Mars now, he'll walk around arguing with you even though you're in on it and be like, I am an alien. Why can't I be an alien? And that's why his, like, debate skills are so sharp, because he can literally take any fucking point of view and crush you with it. He's great at that.
Really fucking on point, man. Milo,
he's great with that.
If you watched my episode with Milo, we went 2 hours, but we just went 3. We went over 3 just now. We went 3 hours and 10 minutes, us 4. This is actually the longest episode I've done so far.
Well, we're fucking 4 interesting ass people.
I know. Wow. Hey, should we start a monthly podcast? Maybe would you guys agree to get on here 1 month? Every month at least one time.
It's like that show on Fox
Lala
News where
read
they
from
have
the Bible,
the black guy.
I think we should.
To be honest, I think it speaks a lot to the fact that we did talk about a lot of highly charged topics, and we're all still here standing. So,
and
what the fuck were you telling? I'm not dumping out.
I'm just saying we respectfully debated a lot of topics that a lot of people would bow out and get upset and whatever.
Well, a lot of people are fucking pussies.
Liberals.
Okay, you get your
queers.
That's what I'm saying. You agree then?
I'm agreeing angrily. I can't do that. That's against the rules now. I can't angrily and forcefully agree with you. But matter of fact, my favorite headline ever that I was included in was when I was on RT and I was debating someone from Code Pink, and it was it was a massacre. It was a fucking they had
what's idea. Code Pink?
It's like a liberal protest group that's supposedly an anti-war group, but then they just kind of became an anti-Trump
Hey,
group.
Can I find that right now and play it?
You could, yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
RT PaWL BaZiLe. It might be on YouTube.
Oh shit! Let me see this.
But this person, by the way, they cut out all the best parts. This person got fucking savaged on television in front of everybody. And one of the things that at the end, because what we were supposed to talk about was the Proud Boys were being kicked off of Twitter, and we were supposed to talk about whether or not that was right.
Oh, here it is. Let's play this.
Okay, go ahead and play it.
Well, it's right on Milo's website right here.
Yes. Hold on. It might be my favorite headline ever.
Hold on, let me go back up.
If you go up.
Dangerous writer PaWL BaZiLe nukes lefty in RT debate.
The other headline they had
Dangerous writer PaWL BaZiLe appeared on RT to debate Code Pink's Ty Berry on the topic of social media censorship.
The other headline that they had before they changed that was Mustachioed Honcho crushes Pink.
Wow. Here it comes.
Another day, yet another banning on social media. Twitter's latest blocking measure targets the accounts of libertarian commentator Gavin McInnes and his organisation, the Proud Boys. Proud Boys is a group that operates in the US, UK, Canada and Australia. It promotes itself as a collective of Western chauvinists. Some of its members took part in the notorious alt-right rally in Charlottesville in August 2017, but since then, it's tried to distance itself from the alt-right. The Proud Boys ban came ahead of a similar rally to the one held in Charlottesville called Unite the Right. Twitter said the organisation has violated its policy on violent extremist groups. Earlier, RT's Hanisha Sethi debated the issue with our guests.
If you read what we wrote, including what I personally wrote before and after Charlottesville, it was something we wanted nothing to do with. It was an absolute abject disaster run by psychopaths, and I'm happy it failed. I think it might just be coincidental that it was shut down after that, unless, of course, somebody didn't want people to know that there are reasonable people in the new right who are saying, like, yeah, we don't want anything to do with that kind of racist Nazi dreck, which we don't, which is a good thing. The left should be celebrating that there's right-wing groups saying, don't do that.
You're a very fringe, extreme fringe
Thousands
group
of Proud Boys disagree.
That espouses hate, and you can do whatever you want on Twitter, as far as I'm concerned.
Prove it.
I don't follow you. I don't want to be by you.
You know what? It's like you have no argument other than to say racist, 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 and you think that we're going to cower and go, oh, I guess you win. We're not racist. No, we're not racist.
Well, I know that there's violence in your
initiation do your homework,
process,
man. If there's any hate speech that I said, oh, do you now? Now, if there's any violence,
it's all hate speech.
Please read me the line that I wrote. It's all hate speech. In other words, you have no argument. You did no homework. You're uneducated.
Twitter's decision somewhat surprising, given that it calls Proud Boys a violent extremist group, but they themselves have denied for years connections to the alt-right groups or any extremist movement. So is activism now considered extremism? Is this the issue we're debating here now?
We would like to have no hate speech, no racism, no divisions in our country. And the divisions in our country and the racism do not come from Twitter. They do not come from Facebook. They do not come from our email and the such. And I believe that the poor racist boys should have their website. I mean, I believe that they should be on Twitter. I believe they should have Facebooks.
Who gets to pick out what hate speech is? Who gets to pick out what racism is? How come one thing is racist for one people, but it's not racist for another people? How come one thing could be hate speech here, but it's not hate speech over here? It doesn't make any sense. Man. So the only thing to add to fight hate speech and racism,
white boy.
Right. I got it. I'm privileged. The only thing to fight racism, and what are you?
Okay.
The only thing you're the most privileged person in this conversation right now. I guarantee.
You're less
white.
The
only thing to fight racism and hate speech is more speech and better speech.
I agree.
All right. I got to say that number one, I love Paul. He's the best fucking person.
Thank you, sir.
Number two, dude, obviously that whole segment was going to be edited because you are the man with all your fucking facts that you're spitting. And they're not going to be able to play all that shit.
That was cut out was every time they asked him a question.
Lala, are you bored?
Am I bored?
No. Lala. And also, are you bored over there, Tucker? Huh? You are.
Yes.
Okay.
I know. I'm like, I am ready for bed though because I have to work in the morning.
All right. I'm sorry. Yeah. We'll
wrap it up.
We're gonna have to wrap it up here. Can we finish talking about Paul and how he's?
No. Well, what I was saying about the fucking guy, and we're bringing it full circle, and we could wrap up because we're talking about liberal arguments and stuff, and how they don't know what we're gonna say. The motherfucker. Every time they asked him a question, this is why there were so many cuts and edits in it. They would ask him like, so how do you feel about the Proud Boys being banned? And he would go, I think President Trump is terrible. And I think what he's doing with his immigration policy is wrong. And by like the third time they straight up asked him the straight up question, I just started going, answer the question every single time. And he would just like stop. And then he finally just started answering the question. And it ended with, the real ending, not what they showed you, was I gave a whole thing of how I think Twitter and Facebook are monopolies and they should be fucking broken up because I think that they're limiting speech and blah, blah, blah. And the guy just went, and I agree with you. And the second he said it, I just went, shut the fuck up. And the headline that they wrote on RT was, right and left agree in vigorous debate. And I was like, because that was before we played the fucking clip, that was the point I was trying to make of like, when you're like, but you're agreeing with me. I'm like, I can angrily agree with you. And it's like, when I'm saying something and then the guy's like, yes, I agree. It's too big. And I'm like, shut up, you motherfucker. And it's just like, but you agree. It's like, fuck him. Don't agree with me. You don't get to fucking agree. But That's the thing. The guy fucking, but that's the thing. Like, that guy was so unprepared because he just kept going, you're a racist, you're a proud boy, Proud Boy's a racist, you're a Nazi. And that's when I devolved into just going, prove it.
All right. Before we wrap up, before we say goodbye, I want to say, thank you to all you guys. Thank you for everybody watching still. Please, all you guys, share this shit. I know that, hey, listen, you want to do your part. There's a lot of us who've been deplatformed and stuff like that. I've been like totally kicked off social media, so I can't really drive people to my show. Do me a favor, fucking please post this on something if you could do it. Because there's that fucking idiot I was talking about in the back room at Google. He is deciding who wins or loses in life. And that's reprehensible. And so I want to say thank you to everybody. Lala, can you talk about where you can be found at, please, for people to follow you?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for having me on your show. This has been awesome. Since we met, we've been talking about this, and so I'm glad it just worked out like this. And I have a podcast. It's just called Lala Beamz, like a beam of light with a Z. It's on basically all major platforms. I am also mostly just on Instagram. I just post shit posts all day long, every day.
Lots of booty pics, guys. Get in there.
How are you still on there?
No, I don't post any selfies or anything like that. Mostly just extremist memes.
Can I ask you, Lala? We just played this thing about him, being in the Proud Boys and stuff, Paul, and I gotta, just to maintain transparency. You've been on this show with all Proud Boys. I got it written right here, and Tucker is a fucking stupid Proud Boy. Anyway,
I got it written right there.
So, what are your thoughts on Proud Boys? Really fast.
Honestly don't have a lot of thoughts on Proud Boys. I don't know anything besides the fact that they're an extremist group according to the fake news media, which to me means that they're probably not all that bad.
Are we an extremist group, do you think, from us?
Wait, you guys are Proud Boys?
I'm from Florida. This guy's Florida. What is it? Where are you at, Tucker? Sorry.
I live in
He doesn't want to be.
What part of the country?
Tucker doesn't want to be seen with Proud Boys on the fucking deal.
Tucker, have you been doxxed yet?
No, it's going to happen, though.
You stupid bastard. You're going to get
loser.
On this show, you're going to get doxxed. Back to Lala. Back to Lala. Sorry.
No, I don't know. I'm well aware of the connotations and all of that, and the connotations of anyone like having to go like January 6th and all of that. It's just, to me, it's fucking stupid. I would go down swinging. I would not let just anything happen to me. That's why I don't understand why people just go and get the thing just because, they could potentially lose their job or whatever. You're a fucking pussy ass bitch. Stand up for fucking something. I'm sick of fucking like people making excuses. I'm allowed to be on this platform and say whatever I want. I didn't say anything offensive. I didn't say anything extreme. We literally just had a fucking conversation, and I'm sick of it. And even something as small as this dude is standing up against the man, and that's sad because that's the society that we live in. And you guys don't appear racist to me.
Thank you. And that's a Mexican saying that. So we fucking win.
The thing is dude is like, people got to take themselves a little less seriously.
I love it. The fact that she said that. That you said that. But
which part?
Your obedience is prolonging this nightmare.
Yeah, I was just in the middle of making this video. Maybe you could. I don't know if you could play that at the end. I don't know.
I would love to play it. Let me send it to me or something.
It's 3.5 hours long.
No, it's 4 minutes long. But how do I do it?
Send it to me and I'll share it if you could do it.
Okay. Yeah, do it at the end. So go ahead and go around the table and I'll do that in the meantime.
All right. Tucker, how you doing, buddy? You're over in some racist armpit of America, correct?
Chicago?
Yeah.
It's a white bread Southern stronghold.
No, it's funny because that whenever I was talking to my Jamaican lady friend, she was like, "Have you ever seen braids before?" And I was like, "Yes, I have. I've seen a black person before." Yeah.
No, but it is weird though what you're talking about.
I lived in Mobile. It's 51% black, 49% white. Like
when they start attaching shit into their hair, it is
All
weird.
America.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
it's like, what do I grab onto? How do I, what?
You don't touch their hair.
Yeah, you can't touch their hair. They can't touch their hair. It's fucked up. It is a different, weird thing.
I touched their hair.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
It was sort of a
Look at
thing
you,
that we-
the aristocrat. The aristocrat.
I touch black girl hair all day. I just sit there going, all right. So
you send it to me, Lala?
I just sent it to you. Did you get it?
Let me look.
Anyway, you can find us at https://t.me/shotcast. That's on Telegram. That's where we'll post all of the links to our videos and stuff. So
I'm
just
gonna
join
check that
that.
out.
And then there's even a chat where you can talk to Jordan, who is really just gonna be. He's just annoying, but he's
Great
always
guy.
on there.
Who's Jordan?
Jordan. He's the one.
Oh,
that had
Camacho? Jordan Camacho?
No, he's the one that seized out at Beach Kings.
Dude, Camacho, you got to get on. He's also like a comedian. He's hilarious.
Lots of booty pics on that fucking Telegram.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Dude, I love Proud Boys. I love the fact that I joined Proud Boys. It was the best thing that I ever did in my life. I say that, often, and I really do believe it. It's the fucking best thing I did.
When I have a son?
When I was in college, I went to the University of Florida, and I did not join a frat. And I always thought, man, I really wish I was in a frat. And I never got a chance to do it.
Well,
I read
I'm glad
your
that we
article
could bring
somebody
that
wrote
to you.
about you, and you said the exact same thing.
I know.
Are you just reading your article right now?
Shut up, you fucking idiot.
Okay, I made this the other day.
Death, or such punishment as it may consider just, the tribunal sits in judgment upon 20 leaders.
All the people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs, fuck you.
War!
Yeah! We're extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about the trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
Plaguing our country.
Army of digital soldiers. This was irregular warfare at its finest. The journalists that we have in our media did a disservice to themselves, actually more than they did to this country. They did a disservice to themselves because they displayed an arrogance that is unprecedented.
Lala, you made this?
Biased
and
false news fucking awesome.
All too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
American people decided to take over the idea of information. They took over the idea of information, and they did it through social media.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 You are fake news. Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. It's all fake news.
It's true. The Defense Authorization Act. The NDA. Rowdy Roddy Piper.
He's dead, so that's even harder.
I love They Live.
Notice now everybody's using the word fake news. When did you hear it first, folks?
Him. He was the best.
CNN.
That was like my first video that I really made. So
Really? When did you make that?
like last week.
It's fucking great.
Nice. Have you been launching
Good
a
job.
landscape mode ever since?
Good job, Lala.
Listen, in my Instagram it works. So
It works in it. I understand.
Hey, listen, when I actually edit this, that will be full screen. All right?
okay.
Oh, it will be.
So, all right.
Well, thanks for playing that.
Thank you for
that's
being
awesome.
here. I think that we're going to turn into pumpkins if we continue, right? Because we
Cool.
need
Can I get my plugs in real quick?
Yeah, plug it up.
Cool. Go follow me on Twitter at BaZiLe Paul, BaZile PaWL on Twitter. And I have all my good shit.
Paul, why do you spell your name retarded?
Because I'm fucking awesome.
How do you spell your name, Paul?
PaWL BaZile.
There you go, guys. That's what you got to know. Google that shit.
Check me out. It's called Paul BaZiLe Quotes. And you can check me out every single week, every Thursday, censored.tv on Radio Deadly with the great frontman from the Misfits, Michael Graves, the legendary Michael Graves. I do a show there with him, and you can use the promo code Graves and get a few bucks off your subscription. And I hope that you leave a lot of comments and you say a lot of cool shit about this podcast as well.
Lala, you got any last thoughts?
No, that's it. I'm just a shit poster, and I like to talk into microphones sometimes. So that's really it.
Tucky?
This has gone on too long.
No, it
I know.
hasn't.
If anyone is actually listening, still,
I hate Joe Rogan because his show is too damn long, and now you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
You know what's fucked up? I'm not remotely out of gas yet.
Dude, I am actually very serious about this. I think
doing beef tips too.
Yeah. I think that Paul is like natural. Dude, Paul is insane, man. I have like crazy conversations with him. Lasts all night fucking long. I get off the phone, it's like 3 hours.
It gets crazy. When it gets like 4:30 and we're like,
it's just him. I put the phone down on my chest and shit. And just listen to it on fucking anyway.
That's how you go to sleep every night.
I love
listening to my voice.
I love
you into
all of you guys. You guys are great.
I love you too, Bobby.
And I think that we should do this on a regular basis. I really do.
Every other night.
We should do it either
4-hour mega
every
show.
2 months or every quarter or every month or some shit, but us four should come on
If
here.
we do it every 2 months, you're going to forget about it by the time 2 months rolls around.
Every month.
Doing it every single day for the rest of our lives. This is what's going to break
Every other hour, you can find us live right here.
I'll be back. I'll be back in an hour.
Every other hour.
All right, we're going to sign off right now. I thank you so much for watching Buy Pickles Podcast. Have fun at work, guys, and get some sleep, all right?
That's me. With that look on his face, he'll talk about anything. Outstanding. Tattoos, t-shirts, politics, history, and hot sauce on everything. Bobby Pickles. Pop culture, documentaries, conspiracy theories, sarcasm, and fear. It's a conversation, start listening, cause we're all here. Bobby Pickles Podcast. That's me.
At Enzo.com.